There we go. We are live. How's everybody doing? Everybody is us so far, just us three. But Bolt Mortem has been here.
He has been here.
Yeah.
The thumbnail was so good, he didn't need to see anything else.
That's right. I saw the thumbnail. That's enough. Thanks, Jake. Yeah, so welcome to Literally Liminal episode 8. That's true, right? 8?
8? Yeah, I always have to think about it. I have to look at the last episode to see what episode we're on.
I always do that too. Episode 8, and we are joined today by Andreea from Infinite Text. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello.
Wow, I'm just like seeing. I've never been live before. This is like my first time being live.
It's exciting. Yeah,
It's
seeing
fun.
the people talk.
It's weird because I always tell people, like, before I recorded myself for the YouTube channel, I never realized how I talk until I played it back to edit, and I was like, wow, like I wonder what I'm going to be like live because I can't cut things out.
No editing. I listen to my own voice way too much from editing.
Yeah.
So I'm very used to all my quirks.
Yeah. The first year of recording and posting videos was a lot of like heavy editing, and then finally just saying, I just don't care. Just don't care.
Hey, Jeff, how are you doing?
What's up?
I don't know if Jeff's summer has started yet, but I know his summer is starting soon.
Ooh, the summer of Jeff.
Yeah.
The best art videos.
Oh, no work for me today. All right. Awesome. Yeah, good to have you here, Jeff. Ghost Readers in the Sky. Howdy, young whippersnappers. Thanks for calling me young. I appreciate that. Virgil and I are the same age. I just have more hair than Virgil.
That's right. What's up, Jake?
What's up, Jake? What's up, Tim?
Tim.
So, yeah, Virgil, this thumbnail, was I holding your head on a stick? Is that's what was
the original images?
There?
Yeah. It ended up being a good balance, right? There was room for text and everything else. It worked out good. And of course,
yeah.
It seems like I have way too much thought put into an image nowadays when I make a thumbnail, because I always have to think about so there's gonna be a timestamp in this corner, and people look here when they want to read something. I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it, but I also don't mind it. I mean, I'm not saying I mind it, but it's always like
from Calgary.
Yes, Canadians.
Ooh, yeah. You are our second Canadian guest.
Second.
Our first was Richard Rempel from Vintage SF. Where's he from? I can't remember.
Canada.
That's true.
That's right. See, 100% success.
What's up, Sephiros?
Sephiros
from Scotland. Greetings, Goblin.
What's up?
I don't know where Goblin's from. Where are you from, Goblin? Brian.
Phoning in from a hotel.
Geeks love dogs. We got so many people on here.
I know, this is awesome. Hey, what's up?
Bushdekel. I can't remember how to say this, but it means book cover, if I remember correctly. Let me know if I'm right. Winnipeg or the North Pole or something like that.
Could be one or the other.
No, I don't know. Is he from Winnipeg? I think he might be from Winnipeg. I don't know. He's the only YouTuber I've met in real life. Oh, Connecticut. Okay. Oops. And there's Constance. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Yes, we all came to see Andreea make her debut. Nice. Awesome. Yes, book cover. Okay. I feel like we're starting to get a good chunk of people in here. Let's talk for just a minute. I'm going to throw this over to you, Virgil, about kind of how you discovered Andreea, or she discovered you. We were trying to decide before we went live who discovered whom here. So let's see.
It feels weird to say that someone discovered me, but that's fine. So I first found out about Infinite Text from, I think it was a video by Michael K. Vaughan, and he said that he had gotten a book from Andreea, and it seems true. I'm like, oh, who is this? And I was like looking through the comments, and you do the thing and you kind of track that down. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. And so I think I watched a little bit. I think we talked about something. I do not remember those early conversations, but that's you have to forgive me. But anyway, fast forward a little bit to a video that she put out about like, is listening to an audiobook this reading, right? This, a debate. I think anybody who's ever listened to an audiobook has heard. And like when I first heard this start up, I thought, oh, okay. I'm like, I've heard this argument before, and I could tell like what side of the argument Andreea was on. I'm like, well, okay, we'll just see this, let this pan out. And then it just went from that, it pivoted like 180 degrees and just blew me away with how good it was. It was it really is such an amazing video. Like
I am look, I'm blushing.
So I was at work in the middle of the night, right? Just like on break, and I took a long break so I could finish the video, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, wow, this is so good. I probably would have sent Chris a text if it hadn't been like 2 a.m. or whatever it was.
I know that
like,
eventually you had Brian watch it, and you guys on our text thread were like, oh my God. And Brian was like, that was so good.
It is. It's so good. Totally recommended. Anyway, then it was awesome. So that's kind of how I sort of like pseudo discovered for myself the infinite text, and then got like super interested and excited. And then when we were talking about potential guests, that's why I was like, we definitely need to have infinite text on.
Yeah, and that's, I think, where the first time I heard about you, Andreea, was through Virgil, because we were talking about who to have on, and he said we got to have infinite text. So I went and started watching all your videos and saw your incredible video on your Weird Tales collection. I hope you've brought us some weird tales to show.
I always have them on me, like they're just right here all the time.
Yeah. So, and then also, I just wanted to bring up your video where you talked about was this at the library that you work at, or is this?
No. So there's like the public library system. They have a few branches that are rare books or special collections. So in Toronto, there's like 3 big ones. One of them is about children's literature. So they have like vintage board games and all that stuff. One of them's on Sherlock Holmes only.
Oh, wow.
And I made a video about that too, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool one. And then this one, which is the rare science fiction and fantasy books, and they all belonged to Judith Merrill, and she donated it to the branch. And then there's just so many like rare weird tales and first editions of so many things, and some of them were so old I wasn't even allowed to open them out of the plastic.
Oh, wow.
So I always wanted to make a video there, and then I went that day and I was like, I'm gonna buckle down. I stay there for like 4 hours.
Wow, it was a great video. It was really a wonderful collection. I loved seeing it. Ghost Readers in the Sky met Andreea just a few weeks ago through Private Eye July.
Yeah, I'm technically a host for that, but I'm a little bit behind on the reading.
Yeah, I think in the end I was trying to do Rocket Summer for July, and I think in the end I'll have done 3 of the 4 things I was supposed to do for Rocket Summer. Mm-hmm. But I mean, those things are always so hard to keep up with.
Yeah, I found out about it a little too late. I probably have 1 or 2 left to do. I have 1 video left to do for something that's kind of Rocket Summary, and I didn't even know Private Eye July was. I guess I'm very out of touch, but I love Private Eye.
I didn't hear about it either. I heard about it today.
It got started by Jim from A Mystery and Mayhem, and he's actually from Hamilton, Ontario, so he's close by. And he started, and they told me about it 2 days before it started, and they're like, do you want to host with us? And I was like, okay, what is Private Eye? Like, I didn't have any private detective books, and then somehow that weekend I ended up finding 2 in a little free library, and I was like, it's meant to be, let's do it.
So which ones did you find?
So I found The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler and The Maltese Falcon. Which are like the 2 classics.
Yeah, I love Dashiell Hammett.
Like, those are probably the only 2 detective novels I've ever read.
Yeah. I really like Dashiell Hammett's writing. I'm actually reading a Dashiell Hammett story right now. So
okay, so you are participating in Private Eye July.
I guess I kind of am unintentionally.
My aunt is a huge Baldacci fan. Loves him. I've never read anything by him.
Well, it's funny because we got into these arguments like we're on not Discord, what's the other one called, the Voxer, and we were talking like, does Nancy Drew count as a private detective? And it's like, no, she's a sleuth because she doesn't get paid for it. And then we're like, well, do you have to be paid to be a private investigator?
Wait a minute, that is super interesting. Wait a minute, I didn't know there were these distinctions. Tell me more. I want to know more.
The conclusion was that Nancy Drew is an amateur sleuth, and therefore not a private investigator. But if you do want to read it, you can. So.
I found something interesting the other day at my friends of the local library. This is Old Sleuths, Freaky Female Detectives from the Dime novels. Wow. And these are specifically the instances that they could find published in the era of these private detective novels that are the private detectives are female. And I thought that was really cool. And they're actually kind of straight up like just copies of these old private detective novels. One of the coolest things I found, I wish I would have known. I would have read it or sent it to somebody doing this this private detective July. That's cool.
Well, I feel like one of the most common jokes in like women's circles is that Sherlock Holmes is almost like a superhero because he has the detective and observation skills of a woman. Like it's right there. The ketchup is in front of you. Like what are you
fantastic. I love that.
It's right there. I love it. That is awesome. Oh my gosh. Hey, Mr. Banana Head.
What's up?
Big Sleep is awesome. Big ups to Jim for recommending that one to me.
Yeah, no, Jim's great.
Jim always has had such great recommendations. Yep. Yeah, the crime genre is something I don't know anything about. I've never really gotten into it.
Not even Sherlock?
I read Sherlock, yeah. I read some Sherlock Holmes, but I like his weird stories more. Like Captain of the Pole Star. Have you ever read that one? No. Crazy North Pole ghost story. It's incredible. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't like it as much. I did see Goblin. I did see David Baldacci speaking to the Senate, and he did an incredible job talking about AI ripping off his books. You can find the video. Just go search Baldacci speaking. I hope I'm saying his name right. Speaking about AI ripoffs, but it's really good. He did a bang up job.
Did you guys see that whole like Agatha Christie course being taught where like they use AI and an actress to teach a master class kind of thing as Agatha Christie? It was in my Facebook, like near the end because it had just been released.
I've not heard of it. That sounds interesting. AI is crazy.
Who was telling you that?
No, it was me. It was me, Virgil. Okay.
It was you?
Yeah. No, so like it's
anyways, go ahead.
Maestro, which is like the British version of the Masterclass website. And they always have authors. So I signed up for BBC Maestro to take a class with Alan Moore because he's awesome. Right. And then like all of a sudden this thing shows up and it's like, learn how to write from Agatha Christie. And I open it and there's a person who looks like Agatha Christie and they kind of used an actress to play her as like acting it out. But then they also have an AI thing. And then some of the script and writing was using AI.
Yeah, sorry, that's why I was chuckling.
Hey, Agatha Christie.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like her estate allowed it. And people are like, well, it's not okay. It's not okay to do that because she would not be okay with it. And it's like, but you know, we're using technology in a creative way, so that's pretty cool. Like, who else can we revive?
And you know what this reminds me of? And here I'm gonna bring it around to stuff that I like too. It reminds me of this Gene Wolfe book, The Borrowed Man, which is all about a guy who's a clone of a mystery writer, right, that's deceased, and how he's a library resource. Like they have clones of these historical people and writers in the library that you can check out. And so this woman comes to check him out from the library to solve the murder of her father that is tied to a very small private book that this writer had written. It was actually really great, and it just reminds me of that, like, is in like how these like clones aren't supposed to be able to write fiction, like they have like programming in them so they can't write.
Interesting.
What's the name of that book again?
The Borrowed Man.
The Borrowed Man.
It's by Gene Wolfe. Yeah, so it takes the private detective story. I did a video on it, by the way. It takes a private detective story and sort of puts a sci-fi slant on it, and it's just great. Super good book. There's a sequel I have not yet read called Interlibrary Loan.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, no, we did have like some programming in libraries here where it's like you can check out a person like in real time, and it's for a life experience kind of thing. So like you could check out a person and they could tell you about what it's like to be, a refugee from one place or whatever. And it was like sharing stories.
I heard about that.
Yeah. But I guess this book was written longer ago.
Oh, the one I'm talking about? Not that long ago.
No?
This is
90s?
from this is the late to like 2010s or so. It was one of the last few books that he published. So like I don't know the exact copyright, but I want to say 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there.
Ooh, Philip K. Dick. Yeah, I would take that class. I'm embarrassed to say.
Could you imagine trying to take one from Harlan Ellison? Like if they made an AI of Harlan Ellison, that thing would be a monster.
It would be like, I can't imagine. I mean, I would think Harlan Ellison's own AI would want to self-destruct. You know what I mean? Like, I hate this.
I already know the title of the course. It's I have no mouth and I must scream.
At my students. Oh my gosh. Given how society has been losing touch with reality for at least the last 2 decades now, AI could well be the final nail in the coffin. Yeah, AI gets crazy, man. I don't know. It's a weird, because part of me is like, and I have to deal with it in the classroom, and so part of me is like, do we jump on it and embrace it as a way to outline papers and stuff, or do we just like bring down and so far all I do is we have this program that we can run the papers through, the Turnitin program, and it will tell me if it's AI or not. I hope it's right.
Right.
And if it comes out as AI, I just don't accept the paper.
That's literally like a Philip K. Dick thing, like trying to see if it's a robot or not. That's
right.
Funny.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is like at our college, we had some applications for some things, and people definitely put their applications through AI. But the thing is, they left their prompts for ChatGPT in the application.
Oh shit!
So it would be things like, "Can you make it less like bougie and less whatever?" Like, and I'm like, you know what? You should get like bonus points just for your prompts. Like your prompts alone were so cool because some of them were like using big words or like interesting prompts,
Yeah.
And at this point, I feel like we need to somehow find a way to work with it. Like, maybe students like work with AI at home and then we take it in class for critique or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to shake out, but I agree that it's something that will have to be like, just railing against it isn't going to work. It's not going to go. There's so much money and energy going into it that, it's just going to happen.
Yeah. This is the problem right here. A lot of people are mentioning that these AI programs, and the one that I use tries to give a percentage, like this is the % chance that this was done by AI. So there's a threshold of % that I accept and don't accept, but it's wild. It's a whole new level of like I don't like grading. Grading's not fun. I don't know any teachers that love grading. I'm always jealous of the math teachers because they're running their finals through Scantron. You know what I mean? And they're just like done. And I'm sitting here reading pages and pages and pages. But one thing I don't want to do is grade AI work. I definitely do not want to spend any time grading something a machine wrote like that. Right. That just seems terrible.
I mean, I would definitely shift more of the grading on participation and like,
yes,
you have to.
Yeah, but I teach composition, so like we need some composition. If I write a novel in Google Docs or MS Office 365, will their AI steal my work? I don't know. I'm sorry. That's a great question, and I don't know the answer to that.
And they're probably not going to be very forthcoming or honest with their answer anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wolf mentioned, PKD mentioned, Ellison mentioned. Only one more author to mention. It's officially a literally liminal episode.
Bingo.
What's your favorite? How'd you get into horror writing? Let's go there. Or how did you get into reading? I'm sorry. How did you get into reading in general? Andrea?
Me.
Yeah.
So, I actually started reading more like near the end of high school. Before that, I was really interested in like computer animation. And then I would get higher grades on the story components than the actual art. And then I thought, well, maybe I should take this more seriously. And then I just like took a full-on year to just read. And I got one of those like Harold Bloom 100 must-reads kind of thing. And I went through like the top, 100, let's do this. And then I applied for English Lit. So then it was kind of like a mix of reading for fun and reading for school. And then, as you know, you kind of get like academic burnout after a few years of academia. So, so then I was like, okay, what do I do? Like, do I go with like English further to do more reading of this kind, or do I stay close to the books? So then I just kind of went into librarianship. And then I was like, okay, now I'm going to start reading for fun. And my readings changed. So like it's been reading for different reasons at different times in different genres. So it's like seasons of life, if you will. I don't know.
Very interesting.
So what got you specifically into the horror stuff?
Well, like I've always been into creepy things. Like even when I was like little, I used to, in Romania, I used to actually crash funerals as a kid because we lived in this tiny village and funerals was kind of where you could meet the community and get free food. So I would just go to random funerals, and then just like this weird creepiness became part of my background. Like it just became part of my thing. Then I moved to Canada and I got really into wrestling, into like WWE. So obviously The Undertaker was kind of like my guy. And then like it just like, I don't know, over time you just like add more things, and I got into Ray Bradbury and Neil Gaiman and other people. And it's like over time it just became just like, okay, I guess I'm into morbid, creepy stuff. And then I went through all the classics, and then I got into Booktube. And I formed kind of like a community with the SFF people, but they were more like science fiction, like in space. And I was like, something's off. Like it doesn't feel quite like me, but I do like this community and these people. Like I became really close friends with like Thomas from SFF 180 and Rachel from the channel Colonnati. I don't know if you guys know these people, because like they used to go to the Hugo Awards, and I became really close to them, and we went to all these places together. And it just like, I loved science fiction, but something felt off. Like I was a little bit more into like the morbid, creepy stuff. So and then I found Weird Tales and the weird people and you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, I think we won, Tim. I don't think that author is going to be mentioned.
Which one?
I can't tell you that, or he'll be mentioned.
Secret, I guess.
Yeah, if we make it all the way through the live, I promise I will tell you what our author cannot be mentioned, because he's mentioned every time. All right.
So do you have a favorite Weird Tales writer?
Ooh, well,
That's a great question.
I mean,
Lovecraft's a pretty obvious one, but
a personal favorite then.
I do like Robert Bloch. I think he's pretty great. I have like a favorite genre underneath.
Did Robert Bloch write Psycho?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure.
And August Derleth, he does some pretty cool stuff too.
I like Derleth a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really like nautical horror or piratey stories.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah. So like one of my favorite things that Weird Tales does is like it brings back classics, right? So like it will publish some Mary Shelley, some um, uh, William Hope Hodgson, and then also newer people throughout the years. So then like you have this blend of voices from different times. So I really like Hodgson, for example, which makes 1974 the best year of Weird Tales, in my opinion, because Sam Moskowitz was the editor for Weird Tales, and then he really brought back Hodgson that year. Like he would just put him in every single issue.
Interesting. I know Jeff from Jeff's Cave of Cool Books absolutely loves William Hope Hodgson as well, and I think he's still with us here. Yeah, he's right there. Yeah, that's I've only read one William Hope Hodgson so far, and that's in that what's that that book that Jeff showed off. I have a paperback of it that's
The House on the Borderland?
No, that's on my list. That's one that I'm going to be reading soon.
The Nightland?
No, but I have that one is also on my list.
The Boats of the Glencarrig?
It's a collection of his works. It's a short story collection.
Sure why this.
But here's my copy of The Nightland, which is really crazy because it is the most spine-bent book I have ever owned. But this is so hard to find. No, I'll go find that. Why don't you tell us what made you start a YouTube channel, Andrea? I'm going to go grab this William Hope Hodgson book.
I'm so curious what this Hodgson book is. Actually, since we're talking about him, I have an academic book written by him. I'm kind of reading this right now, but it's William Hope Hodgson and the Rise of the Weird, and it's academic-ish.
Oh, interesting.
It's really great. One of the chapters here is called "The Sea is All the God There Is," and I think I love that line so much that I made it my banner on YouTube. Like,
that's awesome.
I want to sound really cool, but I was confusing William Hope Hodgson with Manly Wade Wellman. So sorry about that. The book I'm thinking of was one that Jeff loves by Manly Wade Wellman called, I still don't know what it's called, but it doesn't matter. William Hope Hodgson is who we're talking about. Yeah.
Something dark.
To the Caribbean?
Sure, sounds right. It's I've read a few Hodgson's things and really liked it, and I know I've been encouraged to read more. And I do, maybe one of the only really nice books that I ever was able to grab from Nightshade back when it was being printed was their like second volume of like his nautical ghost stories. And so that's always been Worst Things Waiting.
That's the Manly Wade Wellman that I was thinking was William Hope Hodgson.
So I've always wanted to, read more of his stuff. I need to go through that whole book and just read it, but it's good stuff.
It's like being trapped in a dream. I don't know. I love him because, like, first of all, he's like somewhere in between being like an old school classic and like the beginnings of weird fiction, but he's also kind of like got his Britishisms, So it's like he's kind of on the borderland himself.
I like that.
Wow, did not know that. Is that true?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Well, he was out at sea all the time, and he died relatively young, and he was a bodybuilder, which is like weird.
So was Robert E. Howard, though, right? Wasn't Robert E. Howard into that too?
I think he was a fighter. I'm actually reading a Robert E. Howard biography right now too.
Oh.
I brought a bunch of books on my desk.
I found a weird one that I've already showed Tim, but apparently this Robert E. Howard, it's a novel he was writing that was unpublished called Post Oaks and Sand Roughs, and it's apparently autobiographical.
Oh, interesting.
Where
Yeah. And
did you get that?
At the local Friends of the Library shop, $3. But yeah. I'm kind of excited about that one.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Robert E. Howard wrote that?
Yes. Post Oaks and Sand Roughs. And in the back, it's got like all kinds of letters from the publishers. And
so it's like his notes or whatever, his manuscript.
The novel's not complete. It's not finished. Yeah. But people believe it to be autobiographical is what Tim said.
See, like it blows my mind that this guy, like, he died at 30 and he accomplished so much and wrote so much. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he just, so creative.
Any tropes you just can't stomach for any reason? I always assume questions are for the guests, so I'm guessing he's asking.
Why don't you guys answer first?
Okay.
I'm gonna brainstorm so I can look better.
I have one trope that I absolutely despise, and that is the trope of everybody thinks the good guy is the bad guy, and then he proves that them all wrong, and then they're all like, sorry. I call it the Harry Potter trope because I feel like that was done in every Harry Potter book, and it's just a trope that I am just sick of. It's so overdone. The Marvel movies love to do it, where like the whole world is like, these guys are the bad guys. Oh no, they're the good guys, and it's just a dead trope for me.
It's easy conflict, you know. You can just have like a misunderstanding, you know. It's just like that whole like a thing in romance where like there's a misunderstanding and they can't. It's like they could just talk to each other for like 3 minutes and everything would be clear up. But it's like, nope, we can't possibly look at each other. I hate you. This is the whole thing.
For me, it's when the main character is a reader. I think that's the easy, like I call it like shooting readers in a barrel, because you're basically making the reader identify with the main character without putting in any effort into character building. Because I'm like, oh, well, this person reads, therefore they're like me, so then they're so cool. And then you like substitute yourself in and think that they're awesome, and then they're never that great. They just read. And that's not a personality. That's just something you kind of do sometimes.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I hate it. I just hate it. Like the moment I see that, I'm like, yep, this character is gonna suck.
Hutchin is like a cross between Arthur Conan Doyle and H.P. Lovecraft.
I like that.
Okay.
That's so
good comparison. True. Yeah, I need to read
boxing. That's probably what I'm thinking of, not bodybuilding, boxing. Tim approves. I love that cat back there. All right. Dude, that book is worth $1,400. No.
Yeah, probably. I probably.
Well, it's been, I mean, the block is in incredible condition, but this dust jacket's not in the best condition, so.
No, I think you could sell that even without the dust jacket for $1,400.
Something happened to the, you can see like white scrapes or something on it.
When was that printed? It doesn't look like a very old printing.
No, it's 90s. It looks like the same guy that did the Sandman covers, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
Who's the printer?
Yeah. This was printed. Donald M. Grant, publisher. Printed in 1990, and it says first edition.
Wow.
So it's the first printing of this.
Great. You got all the good finds out there. Every single time I'm like, he's like, oh, I just swung by the Friends of the Library store and they gave me this $10,000 book for like $1. And I was
the most I've ever sold a book for was $946, and it is a book that that Jeff showed on his channel. It was a coffee table book about the films of Mario Bava. And that is the most. I got it for $10 at Goodwill, and put it on the internet and put it. I think I listed it for $1,000, and it sold for $946. Blew my mind. I don't know. I didn't realize this Mario Bava book would be so popular, and I didn't know this one was worth that either. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've stumbled into like owning a book that was just like a thing I just picked up, and then like I picked up new. And then like later on, I'm like, oh my God, what is this? I have like this thing. It's like a pamphlet that's worth like $300.
Yeah.
You know,
that's crazy. He said, Matthew says worse when the main character is a novelist.
Yeah, I kind of don't like that either.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Stephen King.
Oh
my God, I'm so sorry. That was a trap.
Fine, Tim, you win.
I was waiting for it.
It was a trap. I didn't even think about it. That was not on purpose.
You got set up.
Yeah,
I assume you figured out who it was long ago, Andrea, right? The writer that we must not mention.
Well, I'll show you.
Psychic retired teacher novelist from Maine.
Yeah, they're setting you up for sure.
For sure. I just didn't see. I was so innocent. It's just like, oh, skipping through the
Man, I was
woods.
trying so hard, Virgil.
We hit bingo. Does that mean we can go home? Like,
That's awesome.
Andrea, are you a fan of Clark Ashton Smith from Joe?
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. So a few videos ago, I woke up at 5 a.m. and I decided it's time for me to make a Clark Ashton Smith sculpture out of clay.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
Because Smith was really into like sculptures, and I filmed it. It's actually on my channel, but it's literally called Making Clark Ashton Smith Sculptures at 5 a.m. for no reason.
I remember watching that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I really like it, but I feel like it's something you need to kind of sample. Like you cannot
Dang it.
like binge read Smith.
Am I freezing or is it
I could
everybody
see
else
that.
freezing? There we go.
Because
Yeah,
it has. That's what I found, and the little bit that I've read is like
it's too dark and it's too poetic, right? He's like painting with words, but it's like a dark kind of abyss that he's painting with words. And it's like poetry mixed with this mood. And it's like if you read too much of it, you will get depressed.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, it's like it sort of it gets watered down. If you read too much of it, then it's just like you kind of like it stops working as well because you just kind of get tired. It's like it becomes like mentally tiring.
Well, yeah, but like no, they're not the sculptures behind me. That's just a mask. And that's Sherlock Holmes.
I feel like
I mean, you have to read Clark Ashton Smith. He's like part of the holy trinity of weird weird tales.
Yeah.
You got Smith and Howard and Lovecraft.
I'm kind of new to it, and I've really been loving jumping into all these. Like I've only read one Clark Ashton Smith story, and I loved it. It was like Alice in Wonderland on a different planet. It was insane. It was really wild, and there was this whole bunch of fiction that I just missed somehow that I've really been enjoying getting to read for the first time. It's been wonderful.
Yeah. What is the Smith story about these two thieves who go to plunder some ancient ruin? And there's like this thing in a bowl. I'm trying to remember what that is. It's not the Conan story, but this is like these. I can't remember what that Smith story is. Anyways, I'm just trying to remember what it was because that was a real sword and sorcery type Smith story that I really liked. Anyway.
Gato.
Yes, this is Cthulhu, everybody.
It's Cthulhu.
Yeah, no, he's chaos.
I brought a needlepoint. It says, "May Cthulhu devour this house last." I like to tell people my great grandmother made it. That's a lie, but I do love it. So yeah, Clark Ashton Smith has got some very poetic prose, and I think he was a poet before a prose writer, right?
Yeah. When I looked up about him, it was like he was a poet, and then he kind of like he needed money, and so he's like, "Oh, I'm going to write for a little while," and so he wrote for a little while, and then he's like, "I'm kind of done with this." I don't know if he was done with it, or because like Lovecraft and Howard both passed, and he was kind of like, "I don't want to be involved," and like it hurt too much. Is with the impression I got from what I read. Like like that loss really impacted Smith, and he like just stayed away from fiction from then on.
I know he took a break for a while, didn't he? And then came back and later. I don't remember. I don't know as much about this as you guys do.
I don't remember. I just remember reading that he had like taken a break from it, or that he left it because of like in part because of those deaths. And then I think he was approached later, and he kind of like, I'm okay. Like much later, and he still was like, no, thank you. But I could be remembering wrong.
Andrea, I think this is a question for you. Smith is the only member of the Big Weird Three I haven't gotten to yet. Where would you recommend I start?
See, here's the thing. I have one of those like world fantasy editions of his book, which is like The Emperor of Dreams. And it has a mishmash of all his worlds. Like it had a bit of Hyperborea in it and some poetry, and even an essay was in there too. So like you get like a sample of all of it. But there's this new publishing house which escapes me.
Let me see what book I have. I have some kind of
Well, they've basically been publishing his books now by theme. So there's like his Atlantis stories and his other stories, like they're by theme. And there's 5 volumes, I think. So like you can see what interests you more. I think the first one is something Saturn.
Oh yeah, was that Nightshade Press that did that? I think
maybe.
I think so. I couldn't when those came out. Yeah, I had that one too.
So these are by like you said I can't say that word, Hyperborea stories.
Hyperborea.
This has an introduction by Jeff Vandermeer. But they break this down. Yeah, Hyperborea, Atlantis, Averoin, Zothique. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just break it down into chunks. And the first one I read, I think, was The Door to Saturn, was the first one that I read out of this book. And that's Hyperborea.
There's that Sword and Sorcery one that I liked. It was a really good, especially if you like Sword and Sorcery, it's a great one to start with. I just don't remember the title of it. And another one that's really good that I did like is The Isle of the Torturers. Is a really good one. It's a really good kind of a fairy, almost like a fable or a fairy tale kind of aspect, but really great, like really good.
There are a few channels on YouTube where people are reading kind of both weird tales, but also a lot of Clark Ashton Smith audio, like half an hour long of like short stories or just Hyperborea or just Zothique stories. Like I think the Zothique one is like 10 hours long, but sorry, I missed the usual.
No, Andrea's taking us to places we don't usually go, which is
great.
awesome.
Or in Hyperborea.
That's right. Places I can't even say the names of.
Yeah, The Door to Saturn is the first volume of that new.
Dominard, thank you.
I remember seeing those Nightshades, I think, when they came out and they're like leatherettes, and I did not have that money.
Here you go, Virgil.
What's that?
It's the Tale of Santampra Zeros.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's a really great one. Very Sword and Sorcery-esque, you know. So if Tim's asking what to start, that might be a really great place to start.
There you go, Tim. Goblin says anything you can find.
Yeah, I've enjoyed everything I've read.
Find. He's not. Like when I saw this, I jumped for joy because I didn't have any Clark Ashton Smith. This is the only thing I've ever come across in the wild of Smith. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
Do you want to show off some of your Weird Tales books?
Me? Oh, yeah, sure.
Hold on, let me do things with the image here if I can do it right. Oh, let's take this off. All right, you are center stage.
Wait, am I just supposed to show off like Weird Tales magazine?
Heck yeah, you're supposed to show off
Weird
Tales magazines.
People love
it. They're amazing. Your collection blows my mind.
So it's funny because I actually end up getting them off of eBay while I watch Nick's live streams. There's something about Nick's live streams where I'm like doing my dark bidding on the internet.
Doing the dark bidding.
Fantastic.
Tim saying, show the bags.
Okay. So I just wanted to, I want to show you my favorite cover. I have a part 2 coming out soon, but not yet. I'm waiting on a few things to arrive, but I will have like a final, like my ultimate Weird Tales magazine collection. But these are some I haven't shown yet. But this is my favorite cover of all time, and it's not a Margaret Brundage. It's this one. So I showed it to you, Chris.
Yeah.
Virgil. This is from, I want to say 1950, January, and the cover is done by Matt Fox. And it's for a Derleth story, the Ormold Clock. But it's just so cool, right? Like you see it. It's like really cool.
Yeah, there's like a beast chasing a man on the clock hands, right?
Yeah. And I saw this, and the funny thing is, so I went to this antiquarian bookshop in Toronto, and this guy had all of these books and magazines and stuff, and I was like, do you have any Weird Tales? And he had this like random box somewhere in the corner, And he's like, oh, those are well, we could keep all of our pulps. And he saw that I was interested in it, and he went on the internet and started looking up prices and then gave it a price. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, that is not how you price your books. Like, I'm here for a find, for like a gem in the rough. Like, you can't just put a price on something after you scout it online. I can do that. So I just left. And then my quest was to find it for slightly cheaper online.
Yeah, I'm never paying that.
Go ham. And I did. I found it. Like this, I found it cheaper. And then another cover that I love is this one. So this is the Skull of the Marquis de Sade. It's the Robert Bloch story that got turned into the movie The Skull.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
really.
That's a cool cover. That guy's got his head off, it looks like.
Yeah,
there's an eyeball on the table. Wow.
One of my favorites.
Jealous. Those are incredible.
I really like this one too, because it's kind of like giving Morticia Addams kind of vibe. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's really cool. This one is from January 1951. Then I have like the four that Sam Moskowitz did for the 1974, because they all have Hodgson stories in them.
Oh, nice.
I haven't pulled up all of the things, but it's just like the more I got into it, the more things I find. Like I found this random book that I didn't even know existed. It's like Weird Tales, the Weird Tales story by Robert Weinberg. And it's like a hardcover book, but I only found it by complete accident, like after getting into it. Like not everything is...
Who's it by again?
So it's Robert Weinberg.
Robert Weinberg. All right, keep going. I'll be right back.
Of course, Chris probably has like his entire...
I got 6 of those. He doesn't have 6.
I didn't get into the weird stuff that like long ago. Like I did like Lovecraft for a long time, and some of the earlier weird fiction is just last year I read the 100-year anniversary of the Weird Tales.
Oh yeah,
the only version I've ever seen of that hardback book you got, and I think this is just a print on demand. I'm this far in it, a print on demand copy of yours. That hardback is incredible.
Yeah, no, this was an accidental find. Like I couldn't even see this on eBay. Like it didn't show up.
Are the pictures in color in yours, or are they black and white like this?
They are in black and white, but the end papers.
Oh, that's like, amazing.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who is that artist? I know this. I know this art.
Oh.
I don't have end papers. Not those.
Is
it? I paid $25 for this just because I wanted to read it.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Yeah, no, I was what was I saying? I was saying that last year I reviewed this one, which was the 100-year anniversary, and then when I made the video about it, everyone started showing up on my feed. So like you guys started showing up on my feed, and Michael K. Vaughan showed up on my feed, and everybody in this circle of Booktube that I had never seen before, like after releasing that video. So then like I found more, and then I got more. But the first 2 Weird Tales that I got was in Chicago during Worldcon. I went to see the Hugo Awards, and they have like a vendor's table there. And because Weird Tales is based in Chicago, they had a booth and they were selling like old copies, and I got 2 there. And that was the only thing I wanted to buy. So like, I don't know. I just like, I felt drawn to it, but I can't tell you why. It's just cool art.
Yeah, right on.
That's awesome. I can't keep up with these comments because everything you're showing off is too cool. Somebody said I'm showing off. I can't. I'm always showing off, but I'll tell you, I can't hold up a Weird Tales magazine. I don't own one. I don't even own one.
I do not own any actual
How many
magazines.
do you own?
Chris, give me your address.
Oh no. How many do you own? Do you know?
I'm losing count because I have gotten more since my first Weird Tales video. I got a lot more. I found this like store in Hamilton, Ontario by accident, and I bagged a lot there.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Jake, well, you got to count. You're counting how many times I say wild, which is wild. So we'll see how that count goes up. Thank you, Jake, and we'll see how many more times I get up. So how much? What's a good price? Let's say there's a Weird Tales out. I guess it depends on the decade and everything. Like every Weird Tales I see is over $50. Is that the norm, or is that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But like sometimes there's people like on eBay at least or on biblio.com that sell them in bunch, like in batches. So there'll be like 5 Weird Tales for $90 or something like that. And then you're like, oh, that's a good deal. But if, for example, you want an H.P. Lovecraft first time release or
Right.
A Margaret Brundage original cover,
Right.
I have 3 Brundages, but they're not the cool ones. They're like the lesser known ones.
That's still really cool.
It's so funny. It's like this is stuff that like if I tell anyone in my real life, like no one cares. It's like on Booktube, it's like a flex.
Like, we love it.
It's a huge flex. That is a
What's
huge
more? No,
flex.
don't stop.
This is why we do this, guys. This is why we do it.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those are incredible. Those are really incredible. And if you haven't seen Andrea's video on her Weird Tales collection on her channel, it's incredible. It really is. Oh man. Okay.
So when did Weird Tales, when did it stop publishing? Like what was its do we know roughly the brackets for how long it was up?
It never died.
Oh, is it still publishing? I see. I'm still out of touch.
No, it's like the logo or the motto for it is it's the magazine that never dies because it got canceled and brought back and then canceled and brought back. And it's every time it's brought back in like a different way a little bit. So like technically right now, if you go on the Weird Tales website, there are some Weird Tales up and coming things that are being like in the pre-order section, but it's not the same and it's contemporary people and it's obviously a different thing. Like Anne Vandermeer was an editor for them a while back.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I guess Jeff Vandermeer is part of the New Weird. Is that a novel?
I don't know. Somebody up here said Mobius. Maybe they're talking about Mobius. Oh, they only recently stopped accepting submissions. Tim, did you submit?
A Redwall retelling.
If I would have known, I would have submitted. Let's see. Let's see.
Yes, that's Cthulhu.
Man, I have never seen the chat going this fast. I can't keep up with this at all.
Someone asked earlier if I have like a favorite like contemporary weird fiction author.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to address that because I'm reading one right now. I'm actually reading China Mieville's Kraken.
Oh yeah.
And like Mieville is kind of like the new weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's him and Jeff Vandermeer that are the big new weird people, and maybe Caitlin Kiernan, right?
I've not read anything by her.
Yeah,
but I know the name. What was the big book that she's known for? It seems like I know this name. Okay, it's okay.
I think I've read one of like the very best of, and it was like a bunch of short stories from Tachyon.
Okay, yeah. So I've read Kraken. That was a good book. I like Melville quite a bit.
You've done videos on him, haven't you, Virgil? My hair is out of control. It rained here today.
I have. Yeah.
It rained for like 4 hours last night. This is insane. Is everything all right where you are, Jake, with all this rain? Sorry to hijack here, but the humidity right now is insane. I'm like sweating, but it's not that hot. It's crazy. But yeah, we're getting tons of rain out here in the Southwest. All right, sorry.
Yeah. Mieville, sure. I've read it. So I read the 3 Bass Lang books. I read the first 3. Have you tried any of those, or is this the first thing by Mieville you've read, or
this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I liked it. I think Perdido Street Station. That's the one that people say like what is the new weird? And like they hold that book up.
Yeah.
Perdido Station.
Yeah, Perdido Street Station, and it's like fantasy and real weird and like horror. It's got like a bunch of different stuff going on in there. Anyway, but yeah, I really like Melville, and I've read Vandermeer short stories, but I've never actually read a Vandermeer novel, believe it or not.
Did you watch the movie based on the Annihilation?
Mm-hmm.
I watched who Jeff Vandermeer was, and I mean, I just was like, I'm gonna go see the movies, and my buddy was having a hard time, and I was like, let's go watch a movie together. And we went and saw this movie that I was like, this could be good. And I'll be honest, I freaking loved it. I thought it was incredible. Like I had such low standards, and I walked out of that theater. Both my buddy and I were like, damn, like that was good. And I love
the music too was like very like
yeah. And then when I read Annihilation, I freaking loved Annihilation because I think about, so I read H.P. Lovecraft when I was younger. That's as far as I went into kind of the weird tale stuff, is when I was a teenager, I loved H.P. Lovecraft stuff. But one of the problems I had with Lovecraft is I felt like a trope that he got involved in is he couldn't show you the terrible thing because it was so terrible that it drove the person insane, right? So it felt like this kind of way to not have to describe. And of course, if you try to describe it, you feel like he would never be able to do justice to it. That's why he made the choice to not show the creature or whatever that was driving these people insane. When I read Annihilation, I feel like he was like, I'm going to do a weird story, a cosmic horror story, but I'm at the point when I should say, and then it drove her insane, specifically the biologist in this case. He doesn't back down. He describes it, and it is the most hallucinatory, weird writing I've read in a long time. And then, just to show off, and I think Vandermeer's a show off, he has his character go one way and then have to turn around and come back by it again so he can show it twice. So he's saying, I can show it once, which Lovecraft didn't dare to do, and I'll show it twice. I really love that novel. I think it's genius.
Well, but that's the thing with the movie, because when they made The Color Out of Space, the one with Nick Cage, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things that was kind of interesting is like they were trying to show you this color that you can't describe, so they had to visually show it to you. But then it also shows you what the descending into madness parts were, so you had to show something, and it was like, you guys went to the place where Lovecraft didn't, so that's interesting. So would you call the movie a good adaptation, or is it like an interpretation? Like, I don't know. Like, I can't decide if I love or hate that movie. Sometimes I love it and sometimes I don't.
Well, it is interesting to say that it owes a huge debt to Color Out of Space, and in a weird way, Roadside Picnic. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's a zone book. And Color Out of Space and Roadside Picnic are the two books that I think of when I think of zones. Oh, sorry. We're getting a lot of rain here in the States.
The other day. Not today.
Yeah.
And that's
Scotland.
It's true.
This year and every other year. The mist kind of shows the entity. Yeah, that's a good one too.
There's a weird thing too with this, because there's new weird and there's new weird. So for example, Annihilation is new weird, but it's not new capital N weird. That's like, that genre is like it has to be urban. Is like that's Vandermeer's own definition of it, because he wrote a definition.
Right, you did a video on that.
Yeah, it's strange. People are like, it's new weird. I'm like, it is new weird, but it's not new weird. According to the only person who's ever written a definition for it.
This is one of my favorite comments so far. Let's see. In the Mouth of Madness is the best Lovecraft movie in the same way that Galaxy Quest is the best Star Trek movie. That's funny because I love both of those movies.
Yeah, those are both good.
Galaxy Quest, yeah. You guys would probably enjoy the manga Blame by Tsutomu Nihei about a city which perpetually builds itself, not the next Netflix version. That sounds very interesting.
Yeah,
I'll have to
Blame.
write that one down.
I don't know if I have Blame or not.
I got to
know
try
I've read
manga.
some of it.
I haven't really read any manga.
There's some good stuff out there.
I haven't been disappointed by any of the Booktuber books I've read so far. Tim's short story collection, Sand and Steel, had some bangers, and I'm currently reading Levi's Sunken Door. There's a lot of writers in our corner of Booktube. Yeah, there's all I've read so far is what Jimmy from News from the Gelding has put in for our anthology that's coming up, and it was absolutely incredible. And I'm embarrassed that I'm going to be in the same book with him. Seriously. How about the Great Yokai War? It should be new weird.
It's a new genre, actually.
Yeah. I'm almost caught up with the comments here. I just got the first volume of his new one. I don't know who his is. Tower Dungeon.
Yeah, that's the same manga artist. The guy who did Blame.
Oh, they're talking about that manga artist. Okay.
Yeah, he does have some really great stuff. You would probably be very interested, at least in the visuals, if nothing else. I mean,
okay.
I've read I've read something of his, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah, so really
Mouth of Madness also showed the monster. Matthew's talking about A.A. Atanasio is another writer who doesn't hold back from describing the indescribable. He has one Cthulhu myth story of the star pools. I like that kind of stuff. I'm gonna have to check that out. I really like when people try to describe something that. Go ahead.
Oh, is he a more recent writer? That name seems familiar, but I don't know. Without getting up and like pouring and like going through short story collections to see if I've read something.
People got to find a way to get me up 14 more times.
You got to work harder, people.
That's right.
Well, maybe not really that hard, but you got to have to work at it.
Everybody should read Dark Matter by John Chapman. News from the Gelding. It's awesome. I've heard really great things. Tim recently did it. Okay. I think we are caught up. Did you tell us, Andreea, why you made a YouTube channel? Did I miss that when in my wanderings?
No, I don't think I mentioned it. Well, so I'm a librarian, and
a cool librarian.
We'll
an
get
antiquarian.
to that part a little bit later. Yes, a special. Yeah. So the first job that I got was horrible. It was the most mundane, boring kind of copy-paste cataloging job ever. And I had just like been so enthusiastic about becoming a librarian, and this job was just draining me. And I was watching Booktube, and I thought, like, what if I just make videos about what I wish I could do at work? You know, like I wanted to like both recommend books, but also keep like a diary of what I'm reading, and also talk about like rare books and librarianship specifically, and like what it's like to be a librarian. So I started making those, and then eventually through that I made a lot of friends, which was awesome. And then I went on trips with these friends to the Hugo Awards in Dublin and in Chicago.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, like they kept me like motivated. And then I used my YouTube channel to get my rare book job. So I work as a rare book librarian. But what I did is I got it mid-pandemic, and I had sent, because like you couldn't really interview during the pandemic. So then I sent like the playlist of all the rare book librarianship stuff to a reference who was also on the interviewing panel. And I was like, hey, this is who I am. Like, this is what I'm about. Do you like this? Because like, if you guys need a rare book librarian, I know my stuff, and here's proof that I know what I'm doing.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, pretty much. I've never said like and subscribe on my channel. I hate that. I never said it.
You should say it. And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why. And this is really stupid, but the reason you should say it is because when I realized I felt like I should say it is what I should say, is because I was watching a video and somebody said, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I was like, shit, I haven't liked it yet. And I wanted to like it, and it deserved a like. And all it did was remind me. It's
I don't know. It's just, for me, it was like, I feel like if you like it, you'll just like it, you know? Like you'll be like, yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Chris is right. It's kind of like a reminder. It really isn't like you're not convincing anybody, but I really do feel like it's a reminder. And usually, if I'm liking something and I'm like the same thing, like I forgot, I'm like, oh shoot, I need to hurry up and like this. That's right, you know, because that matters to this. This was good. I watched the whole thing. I should like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just reminding people to do it because they forget. And
It's
we
okay.
all want to like the videos.
Yeah.
We all want to. We just forget.
Well,
So everybody punch that like button right now.
Right.
Yeah, everyone likes this video.
The mid cut ones where people do the thing and they mid break or they do the break in like 2 minutes. So like, don't forget to like, why would I like your video? I just started it.
Right. Yeah, you gotta do it at the end.
Yeah, I always do mine at the end, even though I probably should do them earlier.
No, Tim's reaction to that story is absolutely right. That's incredible. That is really awesome.
For sure.
I have this never talk about YouTube unless I'm on YouTube thing. I don't tell anybody about it. I like play it real close to my chest, and I don't know why. I think that's a really brilliant move.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, Chris, if like one day some job showed up that was like your dream job and it had something to do with like fairy tales and Haruki Murakami and all the things you love, you could like say, hey, this is my channel. This is what I'm about. Yeah. I know my shit. Like, here I am. Like, you have
if you're interested, you can watch hours of back catalog.
That's right.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Well done. It really does. Yeah, it's so strange because if anybody ever asks, like, did I freeze there? I can't tell if I'm freezing or if other people are freezing.
I don't. You're okay with me.
We all froze.
Oh, you froze that time, or maybe I'm okay. Chris is frozen.
Was that me or was that everybody else?
It's getting too humid over there. Like your internet can't handle it.
That must have been. Yeah, if it rains a little bit out here, like all hell breaks loose. Like any amount of rain, and we're messed up. Ooh, not looking good.
I don't know what happened. Okay,
good.
So have you ever had like a Wilbur Whately situation, or somebody comes in and asks for like the super rare book? Is that a weird reference? Like from the Lovecraft story from the Dunwich Horror, right? You know, coming in looking for the super rare book, and like, this guy's a creepy goat man. Obviously, that's not happening very often, but.
Well, I my entire collection of books is rare books, right?
I know
at the library, or
I guess I'm just trying to get you to tell a story.
Sorry, Chris, are you still with us?
I have no idea.
Sometimes he sits so still, and I look at him. I'm like, I'm not sure if this video is frozen or not. It's just like a thing he'll do. We just need you.
I'm telling you, if it rains out here, everything's weird when it rains. Everything's weird. Okay, I think I'm back. I feel like I'm back.
You never left.
I might have left. Okay. I might have left for a little while. Everybody's talking about chess. Which is cool, but I think they're missing the point of Tim's comment being that story was absolutely incredible. All right. Let's see. I wanted to talk a little bit with you. This is something that I think you might have forgot that we talked about, and that is Gorey art.
Yeah.
You and I brought that up. I think was that in a comment, I think, on one of your videos we talked about, because you showed a collection that had a jacket by Gorey art.
God damn it.
Oh, no.
Sorry. I
read this at first. Chris's flat until you bring in the drones. Thank you, Zephyros. I appreciate it. Also, Barfarama. Oh, I think there's some actual Barfarama books that have been spotted in the wild. I didn't respond to the text chain, but I believe that there are some that have been achieved. Oh no, Chris is now the chat police for being censored by the commissioner. No chat police. No chat police. All right. Yeah, so Gorey, are you into his art? Is that something that you found recently, or something you've loved for a long time? Or
I loved Gorey. I actually did an audio of the tinies. I read it out loud, and I was like, "How would Morticia Adams read this to her children?" Kind of like voice, like, "All right, like, go, like this kid dies this way. Go to bed now. Good night." you know. Yeah, no, I love his artwork, and I read his biography in October. It's called Born to be Posthumous because when he died in 2000, everyone was shocked, going like, "Hey, I thought this guy was Victorian. I thought he died long ago. Like, what are you talking about?" And it turned out that he had been alive this whole time, and he was just a contemporary. He was just a little eccentric and weird. So then I started collecting his original kind of book covers, and he has so many. There's so many out there for books that you wouldn't even think that he's illustrated, but yeah.
I've got a stack of them here. Masterpieces of Terror and the Unknown. And
I have that one too.
All he's done on this is just the jacket, and there's a whole collection of these that are really fun. Haunted America, Star-Spangled Supernatural Stories. They're mainly Marvin Kaye as the editor. Witches and Warlocks.
Oh, that's pretty. I don't have that one.
Yeah, I love all these. And there's a whole collection of them, and I don't know if I have the whole thing. Devils and Demons, and they're usually like wraparound covers, so it's got the whole.
Oh, that's great.
Very cool
Piece on it there. Addams Family Guy. Oh, they're talking about. Let me finish this, and then I'll look at the comments. I've only got a couple more.
Oh, Tim, that's so cute.
Masterpieces of Terror and the Supernatural. Did I already show that one?
See, I have that one, but they didn't send it to me with the dust jacket, which
you're kidding.
Because I'm like, that's the only reason I wanted that one.
Oh no. And Ghosts.
That's pretty cool.
And this one's confusing, and I was wondering if you knew about this. Nope, not that one. And then I have Vampires.
I have that one.
Cool.
I think this is the one I think you showed on your channel that made me want to talk to you about these. And then I have a really weird one. This is the only one I have that isn't Marvin Kaye. Hauntings and Tales of the Supernatural, edited by Henry Mazzeo. Drawings by Edward Gorey.
I have that one.
And these ones, this one actually has drawings in it that I'm not going to be able to find now. Oh yeah.
No, and I think aren't the stories selected by Gorey in that one? Because I think he put them all together, is it the one with the looking glass or something? I know he has a few where he selected them and anthologized.
Yeah, I think this is not one. I think this is the other guy. But what confused me, I didn't realize this. This says on the back, and this is my oldest one, it says jacket by Ted Gorey.
Ted.
And I've never heard him go by Ted.
Well, the one that really blew my mind is I didn't know that he had a Tony Award, and he won the Tony Award for designing the set or the costumes for Dracula in 1970 something.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So he did like the set design on Broadway for Dracula, and then the guy playing Dracula, one of them was the guy who ended up playing Gomez Adams. Raul Julia, and then the other one was the guy who did Sherlock Holmes, the best one. I forgot his name. But all of those actors, like, it's funny. It's like the more you get to know these people, everyone's connected, man. Like it's like this big conspiracy that I have. Like,
I agree with you 100%. Every time I hear an actor like, I was nobody, and then I was in a commercial, and they just loved me. I'm like, no, you have a freaking uncle somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, L-Space. So L-Space Archives, guys, if you have not seen L-Space's introduction, it's funny because I shared L-Space's channel, but I shared it because Andreea shared it before I did. Did you just happen across this?
L Space Archives. Well, I made a video about like, are you scared to start a YouTube channel or a Booktube channel specifically? And then in the video I said, if you ever do start one, even if you're scared, just tell me about it. And then he did. Rob told me about it, and I was like, okay, cool. Let's see what it is. And then I liked it, and I subscribed without him telling me to. But
yeah, L Space Archives. I love it because it feels like a liminal space archive to me. So I felt right away a connection. But yeah, this video, you should see this guy's office or reading room or whatever you want to call it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I was so glad you shared that, and that I came across that because you did. I was really happy. And I think Booktube has given him at least our corner of Booktube's given him a specific or a wonderful welcome. So welcome to Booktube, L Space Archives. I love what you've done so far.
I wrote down. I'll have to check out. Because I always think I'll go back, and it's like, I'm like, what? It's the whole thing. Anyways, so I'm just putting notes down. I don't forget for later.
Yeah.
The talk about the artist, it makes me wonder, have you ever heard of John Keane Mortensen? He does a thing called Post-it note horror drawings.
No.
Have you ever seen this? Oh, I bet you would probably like it.
Message me.
I can do the present thing. Maybe we can try it. See if it works. We can do it
Richard,
live.
we were wondering. We said you were from Canada, and then I wanted to get more specific, and then I sucked at it. So tell us what part of Canada you're in, Richard, because I forgot.
The answer was Jeremy Brett. Jeremy Brett was Dracula, not Rathbone was too old and Cumberbatch too young. Yeah, it is Winnipeg.
But is Cumberbatch the best Sherlock Holmes?
Well, I put a vote to the public, and it was a tie between Jeremy Brett and Wishbone.
Oh, okay.
Because he's a good one.
Oh, that's cool. That's on a Post-it note?
This guy does a whole thing. He's been doing it for years. He does all this kind of like weird, creepy art, and he draws it on these it's supposed to be on sticky notes. I don't know if it really is anymore, but there's a whole thing with this. You've never heard of him?
Mm-mm.
Look up like sticky note horror or Post-it note horror drawings or something, and come up.
That's so cool.
Jake, that's so ominous.
Uh-oh.
He says, I don't want to jinx the stream, but there's a comment that we haven't seen yet.
All right, hold on. Let me.
Good
God.
I don't even know what that means.
I'm just gonna
just be ominous.
McNally Edition's recent release of The Girls by John Bowen has a cover by Gorey. That's very cool. Loved Marvin Kaye's edited anthologies. Me too. I had a few growing up that I absolutely loved. Devils and Demons, Great Tales of Mystery and Suspense, etc. Yet Frank Langella originally starred as Dracula in that production. I've seen those Gorey set pieces. Fantastic. Constance is awesome. John Ashton, who played the original Gomez, is from my hometown. Man's a local treasure to us to us Baltimoreans. Nibblenesians. All right. Let's see.
I like Cumberbatch. Yeah.
Me too. I subbed the other day too. Looking forward to your stuff. L Space Archives. All those collections edited by Marvin Kaye are great. Oh, we already saw that one. Yes, I was overwhelmed by the support. Yeah, it was awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you're doing. I loved the tour. Also, I loved the choice of music. I think I saw one person that said they weren't a big fan of the music, and I have to disagree. I thought the music was a wonderful choice because I was looking at everything and ignoring the music, and then suddenly the music was talking about UFOs and stuff, and I was like, wait, this is perfect music.
Yeah.
Ashton's almost 100 by now. Feel the fear and do it anywhere. I don't know what that's about, but heck yeah. Winnipeg. Oh,
channel.
Jake was right. Winnipeg. I don't want to jinx the stream, but there's a comment that we haven't seen yet.
Chris, you're going back in circles.
No, I can't be. Am I really? No, I scrolled back up to find this comment he's talking about. And I'm not seeing it. You have to get the first edition of Haunted Looking Glass because it's the best cover and back cover art by Gorey. They're fascinating. Cumberbatch is very good. Rob's L Space Archives channel trailer was fantastic. So much cool stuff. I overslept because of the rain and missed the Ozzy tribute. Rest in peace, big guy. You just started the Ozzy tribute. I picked up my daughter from driver's ed, and I had just heard like 10 minutes before that he had died. And my daughter ran out from driver's ed and got in the car, and she was like, "Ozzy died." So we listened to War Pigs and Paranoid on the way home. I don't know if you guys are Ozzy fans at all.
Oh yeah. From a long time ago, for sure. On cassette, back in the days of the cassette.
Oh, I didn't miss it, Jake. It was really quick, and I just popped it up and said thanks. I saw the chicken jockey comment. I saw it. I promise.
Oh.
Thank you, Tim. But that's the second time. Our usual already came in and said it.
I dropped in, dropped out. I don't know if he dropped. The only comment I remember seeing.
I'm sorry, Virgil. What were you saying?
I was just saying, I don't know. Oh, yeah, it's a bummer about Ozzy. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was expected, I guess. Honestly, even though he wasn't, he seemed old in the like early 2000s when they were doing the show or whatever on MTV where they did like
right.
It seemed he wasn't really. It was weird because it was like he's only this old, and you're like, what? It was strange, but
I mean, he'd have to be a weirdo.
I would think so.
People think he is insane because he's frowning all the time. Ozzy dying, never been a time in my life. Yeah, it's true. It's crazy.
I think it would be fun to find out that like Ozzy or like Manson is like a proper guy in a suit all the time, and like that's the weird part, that they're like, secretly this like very proper person in real life, and that's just their persona.
There's a little bit of that with Alice Cooper, isn't there? Because he's kind of, I don't know if he's really a proper, but he's like, if you talk to him, that like Wayne's World movie was kind of like a joke, because he really is like really intelligent and really has these really thoughtful conversations about stuff.
I think I had that vibe when I was watching an interview with Hugh Laurie after playing House and being like such an ass on that TV show. And then he's like this proper British gentleman in real life. And you're like, what?
He makes good music too.
Yeah. I think he wrote a novel too.
He did. My wife wants me to read it. I need to read it.
Is it like the Gun Seller?
Gun Seller, maybe? Is that right? Ooh.
Sounds right.
Somebody could check us on that, but yeah. I miss that comment.
Cooper's a Christian, huh?
The holy geezers. The holy trinity of geezers. Being an insane weirdo is practically prerequisite for being creative, or is that just me? Yeah, I think a lot of creatives look at the world a different way, I guess. I mean, technically, we all look at the world a different way, but yeah, I think that's kind of true.
I think so. I think in order to be successful, you have to present something that hasn't been seen before, or at least in a different perspective. So. Oh.
Well, maybe we should tell you what other t-shirts you should wear. You have like a really nice like Trump t-shirt, just like.
Oh my God. Okay. That was awesome. We just start telling Geeks Love Dogs what t-shirt to wear every video.
That's like a whole story that's like a sci-fi story right there. Like the t-shirt discovers that if they wear a t-shirt for a certain thing, they die.
Secret power activated.
Like a goosebump.
Right.
Kind of went off him when he said he killed 17 cats with a shotgun. Oh, that's sad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he had some.
So the Canadian politicians are fair game now.
You know what? It was a low-hanging fruit joke. I'm sorry, okay?
Oh.
I don't want to get into politics. I just went for the obvious one.
Death Note sequel. Death t-shirt. I have a municipal waste tee with Trump on it. There we go. All right.
What are you guys reading right now?
Say again. I'm sorry.
What are you reading right now that you haven't reviewed yet?
That's it. What we're going to change the direction here, Virgil. We'll start with you.
Oh, what am I reading right now? Let's see. So I am currently finishing up a kind of a short, I guess it's a short novel by James Morrow called The Asylum of Dr. Dr. Caligari, I'm sorry, which is a really interesting story. The story of Dr. Caligari, right? That old black and white movie, kind of taking that energy. But in this case, it's a like mental asylum. And this guy is an artist and he has to go teach like art therapy to the inmates at this asylum on this like remote island that's like, kind of like captured, and the last couple guys have like come back like in like straitjackets or something like that. Actually, it's pretty good. I went in a really interesting direction, so I'm reading that. That's good.
Who's the author?
James Morrow. He's probably best known for a book called what is the book about? I cannot remember the title of the book. Towing Jehovah, which is about this guy who has a tugboat and he's hired to tow away the corpse of God it's like dead in the ocean, like towed away from shore. It's like a weird magical realism story.
That sounds like a good story, though. I'm gonna keep it on my radar. Are you gonna review it soon?
So the Dr. Caligari story, hopefully, yes. I have not read the Towing Jehovah story yet, though. Yeah, so taking the energy from the silent film and then like repurposing it in a different way. I really like the Dr. Caligari has this secret painting that nobody's allowed to see, and then you get to see it and you think, is it really going to live up to this like mystery they built up? And I was like, oh, actually, this is a pretty amazing idea.
Yeah.
So it's actually it's a very short story. It's only I'm doing the Audible for it. It's like 5 hours or something. It's not long. That's it. I mean, I just finished a Manly Wade Wellman story too. That was really great. The Hairy Ones Shall Dance.
That's a great title.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good story. I liked it. I like Manly Wade Wellman anyway. I really enjoy his stuff.
Apparently, I get confused between Manly Wade Wellman and William Hope Hodgson.
I sometimes get him confused for a reason I can't explain with Hugh B. Cave, who did a lot of like horror writing.
Yeah.
A lot of voodoo stories.
He did a little bit of science fiction too, didn't he?
I think he does.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of
Weird Tales magazines a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got some good stuff.
So I picked up I didn't pick up. I went to Internet Archives and I clicked on the first Weird Tales magazine and I read the first story in Weird Tales magazine that ever was published. Have you read this one at all, Andrea?
Which one? Sorry.
The very first story in the very first Weird Tales magazine.
Is it Ooze?
So Ooze is the cover, but that's not the story. It was this wild story that is kind of, nobody really talks about it anymore, but anybody that starts at the beginning of Weird Tales, and a lot of booktubers have a tendency to try this same tactic, to go to the very first Weird Tales and just open it and read that issue. Who was it by? I'll have to look it up. But this story was really interesting because it's about a guy that is in love with a woman, and his buddy was also in love with her. So in the war, he kills him so that he can get the girl. But then he feels like he's possessed by this guy, and he marries the woman, but he feels like, no, I've got this all wrong. I'm sorry. The guy that tries to kill the guy, it doesn't work. He ends up dying. The guy that is our protagonist is the bad guy that tried to kill the guy. He's the one that ended up possessing the guy that lived because he died. And then sometimes he can control this other guy, and he tries to kill this woman that he's in love with, so that she will be sad that the man that she loved killed him. And the whole thing is like this incredible look at post-traumatic stress disorder before they even had a term for it. The whole thing's like this analogy, and it's absolutely incredible. It was a really, really fun read. Dare I say, wild for Jake. Yeah, I got to get that
wild counter. We all have a word that we go to. I say interesting a lot. I'll say that.
You got a word
do I say like a lot? Probably.
Yeah, I say that too. That's a favorite.
Like,
in my defense, I learned English by watching Legally Blonde like many times. So that's my introduction to the English language. Thank you.
My hair looks really wild right now. This is why people are talking about me doing hair color, because it's I can't tell you guys how muggy it is in here. I'm not used to it. It's always very, very dry here, and it's like rain. It's messing me up. Let's vote on Liminal's new hair color. I nominate pink. Should I do the beard as well?
Oh, that's an interesting choice. You have the option to go different. You could go.
Yeah.
Maybe we need complementary colors.
Anyway, my point is, y'all should read that first story in Weird Tales magazine. The first story in the first Weird Tales magazine is it was so much more fun than I expected. Because I know when you read back into these Weird Tales magazines, every once in a while you just get the worst, haven't aged well stories ever. And you can just kind of throw those away. They're just not really even worth thinking about. But I was really happy that to just pick up the first episode and read that first story, and it was amazing.
That's awesome.
I look younger. I grew all this. I look older. I went to the movies with my parents because they get senior discounts. They love going to the movies. So I went with my parents, and they gave all three of us the senior discount, and it really hurt my feelings.
But only for a little while.
It was crazy. But I think it's because you see somebody with a beard like this, and you're gonna think they're old. People call me Boomer on the channel a lot too.
That can't be a compliment.
No, I'm Generation X. Die it all.
You know what? Did they move the target? You ever notice that the dividing line between millennial and Gen X keeps moving around? This is a weird conversation, but we were just talking the other day. It used to be like really far set, like later in the 80s, and they moved it back to where like the late 70s is like right on the edge now. Like my wife was like, "Oh, you're a millennial." I'm like, "What?" Like, when did that happen?
They keep inventing generations. Like the other day, someone was like, "I'm a Zillennial." Like I'm a hybrid of Gen Z and millennial. I'm like,
oh, interesting.
I know. It's like I don't even understand, because like it doesn't even matter. But it's just like I just don't understand why. Like, why does it keep moving? I thought we had a fixed date, and people are like, "Nope, let's move it around."
Yeah, it's interesting because I think there are ideologies to generations. I think that there's a way people think from generation to generation. I can see the desire to kind of break it up. It makes sense to me because of how kind of time works. But yeah, I don't like getting involved in the generational battles.
It's usually just somebody trying to complain about somebody else. Nobody's like, "Oh man, I love those Gen Zers." They're like, "Oh, I hate them."
Yeah,
you see what the Gen Zs are doing now? Well, who cares what they're doing? Let them do. Like you.
I love Gen Z. I love the younger people.
Yeah,
I do too.
I do too. This is the same things that we get complained at about us when we were. It's like these are the same arguments. Like the things that people are saying about the younger generation is the same things that were said about us.
Yeah,
it's the same exact stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Anytime I hear somebody talking shit about a generation being spoiled, I always think I would love to have your grandparents show up and tell me what they thought of you when you were this age.
You're repeating what you've heard.
and it's really weird because the last thing I ever want to be as I age is a grumpy old man. And I think that the minute that I start going, these damn kids, it happens.
It's just one of my favorite things to bring up is there's this story in Plato. I think it's Phaedrus or something, where there's these two old men complaining that the young kids are so spoiled for having the alphabet.
Right.
Because with the existence of the alphabet, now kids won't memorize the Odyssey and the Iliad anymore. And it's like, wow, like that was their TikTok, their AI. Like that was it. It was the alphabet.
The alphabet is like that. I love that.
Yeah, and if you talk about AI, look back to some of the essays and reactions to the camera being invented, and the way painters reacted to that, because it completely destroyed their industry. Being able to just point and click ruined everything. I also use interesting too much, Tim.
But things are
years old, survived the Titanic. Freaking awesome.
I don't like to talk. I don't usually say. I mean, usually if I'm talking about something, I'm not going to bring up a boring book. Like boring, so boring. You know.
Right.
I am 33.
33. What's that?
So
millennial.
I am a millennial.
Yeah, millennial. And Virgil and I are both Gen Z, and we're kind of right in the middle of that Gen Z. Closer, I guess, to the millennial end.
They moved it. I'm telling you, my wife. They were like they're trying to put us into the millennials. They're trying to put us in it, which is like I don't really care, but it's like, well, I thought like I grew up my whole life being told I was one. Now you're changing what I am. It's like saying you're no longer a certain astrological sign anymore or something.
You know, it's funny, when I turned 33, I said I'm like now officially the same age Jesus was.
That's you know what? That's right. Everybody, I did that same thing. I was like, I made it past the Jesus age.
I made it past the 27 club.
I beat you, Jesus.
Just a youngster. Why are you hanging out with these creepy old dudes?
Oh, I thought I was doing community service. What? Is this not the volunteer hours?
Wait, this is supposed to count.
She already said whenever she brings up her cool collection, it's not a flex unless she's talking to us. I'm 33 plus 33.
The funny thing is, I recently found out, you know that whole thing about you're not supposed to ask a lady her age?
Mm-hmm.
It turns out it's actually the opposite of why we think it is. It's not because women were too embarrassed to say that they're aging. It was actually because men used to date and marry much, much younger girls in their sort of preteens. So it was like it's inappropriate to ask a woman her age because the men would have been in trouble versus the other. Like it wasn't about women aging at all.
That makes so much more sense.
Wow. Right? That's so interesting. There it is again. Interesting. Wild.
3 years behind Jesus.
There's like thresholds.
There's so many good comments, and I'm just
like milestones. We have to get like writer milestones for every year. Like you beat so and so. You beat.
I was happy Chris explained his brother. Yes, my channel started with 2 of us, and that is not what I look like without a beard. But if you go back and not the first video, so this is strange. The first videos on my channel, that first week, like 6 videos, I did all when I was visiting my brother, and my hair's much shorter and my beard's much shorter. But if you skip to the Isaac Asimov video I did on Nightfall, like I am shaved with like a flat top. Like that is what I look like with no hair. If you want to see that, kids these days.
It's so funny whenever you bring up these people getting confused, because I also, when it first started, I watched a couple of videos with Chris, and then like, oh, Liminal Spaces. I'm like, okay, cool. And it came up and it started, and I was like, huh, did he just get it? I'm like, is that the same guy? Did he shave? I'm like, it looks great. It was a lot of thinking about it. Like, I don't know. And it was a couple of videos. I'm like, oh, that's his brother.
Yeah, that's my brother.
That's his brother.
I wonder, is it easier to start a Booktube channel with somebody else, or do you think that it's easier to go at it alone? Because like I find it so hard to coordinate with someone else all the time. Chris,
you were both posting at this like on your own, doing your own thing, right? So it's just like he was just adding content to the channel.
So we Yeah, we just straight up, what we did is, I think what we figured out is I was more excited, so I did 4 videos a week and he did 3. And then, I mean, we don't even live in the same state, so he just of mind or of in country, yeah, he would do his and I would do mine, and we'd upload independently of each other. We just kind of knew what day we were supposed to upload, and we'd do it. It is interesting because when I started YouTube, I really thought it was going to be a very solitary experience. This feels like it's going to be a very solitary experience. And that's why my brother and I kind of leaned on each other when we first started doing that, in order to not feel that solitary experience, to have somebody to talk to about, because like we'd call each other once a week and talk for like 2 hours about the algorithm and what time should we post these videos, and oh, I found this new thing in analytics, check this out, and that's fun to have somebody like that to talk to. What I didn't realize was how much of a social thing this really is. Like Virgil, I think you were my first YouTube friend, really truly. You and I started talking, and I was like, here's my number, and you texted me, and we just kept talking, and it was really cool. Like, because like you said, Andrea, earlier, there's nobody around me that I can talk to about all this kind of stuff that is excited or fun to talk to about it. You know what I mean? It's really strange, and man, there's a community for this stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is like I made all of my friends on Booktube for a while, and it was all SFF people, and I hung out with them a lot. And then I took a bit of a break for like 2 years, and for some reason all of them just stopped posting, and then I felt no compulsion to come back for a really long time. And then when I finally it's like, now I have to find this whole other community. Like I feel like I'm having a renaissance, because I'm just like finding a new niche, but also like making new friends that I've never seen before, because a lot of you weren't even on Booktube when I started.
Well, Virgil might have been, but I wasn't.
Hello. That's okay. You definitely didn't see one of my early videos.
Oh, someone's asking, what types of collections do you have or hope to have? It's Constance asked.
Oh, Constance, yeah.
So in my personal collection right now, I'm really just doing weird fiction and nautical things. So anything to do with like ships, ghost ships, pirates, anything pirate related, or nautical horror, nautical stuff, and weird fiction. There's this guy, I'm going to do a shout out for an Instagram account. He's also on Blue Sky. His name's Weird Friction. I don't know. Do you guys follow him?
That is an awesome name.
Seems like I've seen this name before, yeah.
But he's amazing. He like every day he posts a new weird fiction book or magazine or something. And when I see his collection, I'm like, aspirational. Like that's what I want. And I already have a lot of the classics from before, but now it's like, this is what I'm going for. And I keep finding cool things. Like I found some Lynn Carter books, and even with Robert E. Howard, I found some that are signed by the person who writes the introduction.
Cool.
Jones or something. Like I just keep finding weird things in weird corners of bookstores. But I think I'm going to stick to weird fiction for now. I also have fairy tales. Like I went through phases, like seasons of life, if you will, where I was really into fairy tales and folklore for a while. So then I collected fairy tales from around the world, and I had them by country. So I had like, Finland and Czechoslovakia or something, and folklore. So yeah. So I went through phases, and then I have some favorite artists like Gorey and Brundage and Maud Lewis. So if I find things to do with that, I know I might have to go on a book buying ban. Sometimes
those are the worst.
It's just trying to space here,
I'm trying to understand weird. Does surrealism and German expressionism belong in weird genre? Thanks. It's a really good question, because I find this same question is asked of magical realism.
Yeah. I was told by a professor that magical realism is described as the realism of a 5-year-old. And I really like that.
Oh, that's interesting. A fantastic definition.
And with weird, it's like there's this Venn diagram. I posted it on my posts YouTube very recently, where it's like speculative fiction is the circle, and then the Venn diagram is horror and sci-fi and fantasy, and then in the middle there's like weird fiction right there, because it's kind of in this speculative world, but it could also attach itself to other ones, and then it has the same origins as all kinds of science fiction, right? Like if you really want, you could count a lot of things as weird that are also science fiction and fantasy now, depending on the roots, right? So then I think I made a whole video on the history of weird fiction, and all the people who inspired people like Lovecraft. But I like to think of it as like starting with Lovecraft and Hodgson, like that kind of early 20th century. That's when I did it.
It's hard because then you got Ambrose Bierce and stuff, who I absolutely love, that gets kind of left out.
Well, no, like even like Arthur Machen and Blackwood and like a lot of like even Sheridan Le Fanu can count, right?
Yeah.
Like horror and the Gothic, like, you know, Horace Walpole. Like,
and this is the hardest part about defining genres, I think, of anything. It's like trying to figure out what's progressive rock and what's this and what's that. It's very difficult because, like, if we think of the story of the Metamorphosis, right? That is probably the most popular German surrealism that exists, right? That everybody knows of is the Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. You were thinking of Ovid, weren't you? Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis. If we consider this concept where a guy wakes up and he's a huge bug in his bed, that's kind of a weird tale, right?
Yeah.
But then when you think about the fact that the realism of the fact that the first thing he thinks about is, oh my God, I have to call into my work and tell them I'm sick because I've turned into a bug and I can't go to work. That is magical realism, right?
Yeah.
That is magical realism. So yeah, these when you go back further and further, it is so hard to say what a first is. That is so difficult.
Well, but also it's like you can trace them all back to the same origins, but like they all have overlaps all the time. Like I was reading The Nose by Gogol, where this guy just wakes like is walking around as a nose, and like this is what 1800s.
Yep.
And it's like that is totally. I would have described that as Kafka-esque had it not been written before Kafka, right?
Yeah, I think when did Gogol write The Nose? Yeah, right around that same time, I think. And Maupassant was doing really crazy stuff there too. And Maupassant wrote some horror stuff that's incredible, that could be weird tales. Yeah, that's a hard question. That's a really hard question. Yeah, Owl Creek is, I think it's his most famous story.
Yeah, that's good.
I loved that, and I loved the first story that mentions Carcosa is incredible, where the guy is wakes up in a graveyard. Gogol died around 1927, right? I don't know enough about Gogol. I'm sorry. I've read The Nose, and then he did another one. I've read 2 by him. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. We'd have to look it up. Dead Souls.
Google Gogol.
Oh, they're trying to Google Gogol. Say that 5 times fast. Google Gogol. All right. We're getting close to the 2-hour mark. If you guys have questions for Andreea, start shooting them out now. Andreea, what have you been reading recently?
Well, I'm just finishing up The Kraken.
Okay.
By Mieville. I like it, but I don't love it. I have to say, so far this year, I have not yet read a 5-star book, which is kind of sad. Like, I always love, like, reading things. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get this out of the way, and then this out of the way. And then I get to the end of the year, and I'm like, oh, no. It was, like, not the greatest reading year.
Yeah.
And I'm also reading the William Hope Hodgson book, The Rise of the Weird. It's academic, but it's really good. and then I received this from Texas Press, which is the biography of Howard. I made one Howard video, and I swear, like, it got me so many friendships and books and things. Like, the Robert T. Howard people are so friendly.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
here's a good question for you. Do you do any writing?
I used to, and I still do, but it's like, keeping it to myself.
Fair
But
enough.
I do. Maybe I'll write for your anthology.
There's always room. I don't know in the first one, but Jake is the guy that's putting that all together, and he's doing a brilliant job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also used to write. I think grad school turned me off to it. I found that as well, Andrea. People love old Bobby. Yeah, I mean, it's really strange, but I've seen Robert E. Howard bring together people of completely disparate ideologies, and I mean, anybody that takes the time to read Howard, I think, is going to love him. Virgil, my first Howard that I ever read, Virgil was like, read the Tower of the Elephant, and that story was incredible. I had so much fun with that story. At first it was D&D, and then in the end it was cosmic horror. It was incredible. It really blew my mind.
I really like his horror stories. Pigeons from Hell.
Yeah, I've read one for the channel so far. Pigeons from Hell. Yeah.
That might have actually been how I found your channel, Chris.
How did you find my channel?
Yeah, I think it was. I was looking up, has anyone spoken about Pigeons from Hell? That must have been it.
Yeah, I did a whole video on that one story from this, just because I love the idea of Robert E. Howard doing weird tales. I went on this weird tales kick that I'm still on. I really enjoyed that story. I liked that in the end, the bad guy was who we expected, but not who we expected. He did a real turn there, because the bad guy is the kind of rich woman that's treating all of her staff and slaves and everybody really badly, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
People are bringing up lots of.
Yeah. I did not love Bulgakov's Master and Margarita. I think I was. Just
okay.
Yeah.
Did somebody talk about that?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I really enjoyed it, but it's been so long. I don't know if I can defend it.
Like, I feel like, I see many times I read things at the wrong time, and then I think about it later, and I'm like, oh my God, that's what that book was about. That was like kind of good, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah. I remember a cat. I don't want to spoil anything, so I can't really say what I remember. But yes, it was a wild read. It really was. Robert E. Howard, the Duck. Master Margarita. I'm so sorry about the comments this time, guys. There's so many comments, I just can't keep up with them. Yeah, it's weird. Everybody say hi to Krabby. Krabby makes awesome music. It's weird. College will kill a lot of passion, it seems. Same for me in art college. Wanted nothing more to do with the artwork afterwards. Man, I agree. I was so excited to be a writer. That's all I ever wanted to be because of the author we're not supposed to mention, Stephen King. But Virgil already did it, so I can jump on it. I so wanted to be a writer, and by the time I got out of college and all the workshops and everything, I was like, what I realized is I love being a reader. And still for the writers in my life, I read their work, and I'm able to be a very good editor and somebody to bounce off ideas. But yeah, in the end, I wasn't a writer. And I think the school just kind of, I don't know, there was an essay by, who's the sci-fi guy that, Kurt Vonnegut. There's an essay by Kurt Vonnegut that he says, if you want to be a writer, write. Don't do anything else but write. Write and read, he says, and don't go to workshop. And he does this whole thing about the workshop story destroys anything. Sorry, I'm going on too long.
No, that's okay.
I think trying to write does help you a little bit in reviewing books, because you realize like what kind of labor it is, like what kind of work is involved, and how it's not that easy to make it look easy.
Yeah.
Like it's made me a much kinder reviewer trying to write some stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same with like Booktube comments. You know, if you should all film a YouTube video first and then comment.
That's really true.
That's the old adage, right?
I've had so many comments sometimes like, oh, like, why didn't you edit this out? And it's like, do you understand that sometimes you just have to batch film and batch edit? And like, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I've had some comments that, and I learned from Mike's book reviews, not that he ever spoke to me personally, but he made a video, and one of the things he said is, don't ever respond to negative comments. Just don't do it. And for a while I tried, and one of the things I said a lot is, where are your videos? Right? Like I click on your name and it takes me to this empty channel that doesn't have any videos. Like, where are your videos? Because you're right. It's really wild, because we do all this for free. And I know that there is some pay that occurs, but trust me, it's nothing. It's nothing where any of us are.
Sure.
What we make at all.
My time would be so much better spent just going to work. Like I could go to work right now, and I would make in one night more than I would probably ever make in this whole channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just probably wouldn't, I probably never, well, maybe not never, but it's much more beneficial for me to go work overtime. It certainly is, and easier.
Yeah.
It's really, that's easy work. This is like, reviewing is hard. And you're right. Like reviewing it's not just reading a book, because you read a book and you just like, oh, that was good, you set it aside. But like when you have to present a discussion about it, you think, what am I going to say? Like I need to feel that I need to say something more than like, I thought good book. Like, what I mean?
That's the hard part, because sometimes I do read books where I'm like, I have nothing to say. I liked it. It was right. Okay. I have no critique, no higher purpose. Yes. And then my video review sounds so stupid, because it's like me just saying this book good.
Yeah. Right. There's nothing worse than reading a book that was just pretty good. Yeah. It's like there's nothing to say. If it was bad, you could say this book, oh my God. And if it was like good, and you have something to say, or if it did something outrageous or novel that's interesting. But if it's just like I read this zombie novel before, it was very well written, but there was nothing to say about it apart from like where it was set, and that was it. That was not enough to carry a video.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Definitely. Making money is not the right motivation for doing something you love. But of course, on the same note, I would say that it is weird when people come along and crap all over it.
Yeah. And the other thing is,
it hurts more. It hurts more if you're doing it out of love, because then people come and they critique you. And sometimes the comments, I think one of the reasons that I wear the same black shirt in all my videos is because for a while I was making videos and I put so much thought and effort into what I was going to say, and all the comments were, where did you get your shirt from? And I was just like, really, after all of that, all you care about is where I got my shirt from? Yeah. So it's like, we're going black all around. Every video is going to be the same shirt.
I get those comments a lot, but it's because my sister-in-law makes the coolest of shirts for me, so I don't mind that as much. I don't know what this means from Tim.
It's just, you do it, you do it because you're excited about it and you love it, but yeah, I mean, it's, it's not fun when there's negative input about it that isn't really like constructive or anything. I don't know. I never mind if somebody says, hey, you said this and it's actually this. Like, that's never good. Like, I never care about that.
Right. I love being corrected. That's great.
Like, that's not, I actually agree. I've learned so much that way. And I'm, but when somebody just comes on and is like, this is stupid. Well, then like, well, okay, go somewhere else.
And the truth is, if I have a video with like 1 to 6K views, I don't get any hate comments. The minute that they blow up beyond that is when the random trolls blow through.
Yeah.
Just these,
for sure.
The bigger a video gets, the more, like I had one recently that somebody said, you are so stupid that you would have had, it took you forever to talk about why people should read this. You should have just shut up and said, read it. And you would have done a lot more for the book. And it's so weird to get those. But my brother taught me a really good thing about that. He said, look at the 10 to 100 comments, however many you get above it, that say, this is great. I love this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because you can hyper focus on this. And it's weird when somebody has the audacity to be such a dick, like right to your face. That's hard.
I think sometimes it's maybe because they confirm that somebody else noticed that one thing you were insecure about, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like, oh, no, like they did notice.
Yeah. Yeah. When I first started, for some odd reason, everybody said I looked like Gary Busey, which I have never seen or noticed, but that was the thing for the first like 20 videos I did. There was always one dude like Gary Busey. So maybe if I cut my hair, I look like him. I don't know. Anyway, Ghost Readers in the Sky. Andreea, how many languages do you speak, and do you read now in languages besides English?
I can speak Romanian. That was my first language. And then I learned English, and that's the only language I read in. But I love English. I took a lot of courses in Old English. I really like the
fun.
F's and R's and like that kind of Germanic sounding Old English. I guess Tolkien had a bit of influence on that. But yeah, only English and Romanian. I only read in English.
I think, how do you say throat in Romanian?
That's a very strange.
Yeah. I think I feel like it's droga or something like that. I can't remember, but that was one Romanian word I learned when I was a teenager from a friend from Romania. Now I can't remember if it's right or not. What is this?
Romanians are not Dacians. Fight. Well, they kind of are, but they're also Romans who never left. So they're a bit of both. Yeah. So Romanian is the closest language to Latin.
Interesting.
Of the 5 Romance languages.
That's a good point. They wouldn't say it to your face. They hide behind their keyboards. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's funny because that's a good point. We read it like they're standing in front of us, like giving it to us. Yeah. Man, I don't know enough about
I don't either. I'll be honest.
I've never heard the word Dacian. I don't even know what that means.
It was basically what was in Romania before the Roman Empire came in, and then the Romans retreated from everywhere else, but they stayed in Romania. So it's linguistically very interesting because Romania is surrounded by a bunch of Slavic languages, but it itself preserved the Latin, right? So everyone's kind of amazed. Even Transylvania has been like fought over, right? Back and forth, and then they still maintained Romanian as their language. So it's really cool.
Goldsworthy's newest eps on Trajan's Dacian Wars, his column are great. I don't know who that is. All right. Libro Paradiso. I'm not familiar with this. Might be Libro's first comment. If it is, welcome. I think many of us make videos to talk about books with like-minded people at any given time in our personal life. I know less people who read for pleasure. Yeah, I agree.
I kind of feel like sometimes we make videos for each other. Does that sound weird? Like I make videos like, hey, you guys, people that I know, read this book.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's interesting because, and I'm going to be putting up a video in a couple of days that is all the books that I'm constantly told are super weird and I have to read them because everybody knows I like really weird stuff. So I get all these comments, enough so that I've been able to put together 10 books that are books that people have been like, this shit is weird. You got to read this. I've made a stack of them and I'm going to read them because people are starting to learn. This is the most interesting stuff. The viewers are starting to learn my tastes, and I like finding recommendations for books I've never heard of as much as people like getting those from me. So it's really fun. Like one of the best short stories I've ever read was The Configuration of the North Shore by R.A. Lafferty. And that was just one of my viewers was like, oh, you like Dream Machine tropes? Try this one. And it was one of the most incredible stories. It was so good.
Yeah, no, I was introduced to Hodgson by a viewer, and I take all of his recommendations very seriously now.
Yeah.
Because every time he's like hit it like head on. Everything that he's recommended, I've loved.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A Voyage to Arcturus was another one he recommended, so that's on my TBR.
Yeah, that's one of them from the video I'm putting up. Everybody says read A Voyage to Arcturus.
Yeah. It was good. It was very strange, but it was very good.
Cody, what's up, Cody?
Cody.
And Andrea, your vampire pick is excellent. Sorry for the objective comment.
It's okay. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Wow, you guys really, I don't know how you focus on both
it's hard.
Yeah.
That's why I seem like sometimes like I miss what you guys say. So you'll ask me a question that I'll completely miss because I'm reading these too. Apparently Tim did a whole Ebe stream just to get Jake into Howard. It didn't work. To what Jake says, hey, I like Howard, but I choose to read garbage instead, Tim.
Leave my garbage alone.
Chris loves Dream Machines. Apparently he can't stand the hero misunderstood as a bad guy. Yes, that is true. Both of those statements are true. Oh, I'm so glad. Also, I love that your cover there, Germ, is from the Swans album Filth. I recognize those teeth anywhere, man. Believe it or not, my daughter has randomly gotten into the Swans, which I never expected. But I was playing it in the car and she's like, I love this. And now that's all she wants to listen to. Also, I'm really glad you love the Futurological Congress. That is a great book. Here comes another good question from Cody. Andrea, did you like the new Nosferatu?
I did. But I didn't love it. I thought it was good, but it was too long. The director of those movies, because I watched the Northman as well, and it was so good, but it was so long. Like maybe just like 45 minutes less.
Yeah.
You know, like because otherwise it was so good. It had the right setting, the right mood, the right casting, like perfect casting. It was just the right amount of tension and everything was great, and it was just just a bit too long. Like I know it's bad when I start looking at my watch.
Right. Then you're not having any fun. See, I think this has probably been recommended to me before, but I've forgotten it. Now here it is again, and I've got to read it. You mentioned that last stream. All right. I get repetitive. I can accept that. Well, you all talk so much. It stopped raining here in Thailand. Well done. It stopped raining here as well, but the moisture's not gone. I feel like I'm like in an envelope of slightly damp tissues. I don't like it. I think I just prefer dry heat. Good Lord. It's like this when I was in Japan. Man, get some weird moist heat. All right. Let's see. The Martian story that Virgil talked about was awesome, by the way.
Which Martian story did I talk about? I don't remember. I probably do remember, but it was just
everyone's talking about vampire movies now. Well, What We Do in the Shadows is the best vampire movie of all time.
It's amazing.
So I think I saw you talking about this on your video. Tell me if I'm wrong, Andrea, but are you the one that said the movie is better than the new series?
Oh my!
I think by far.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
I love the movie.
I was so into Flight of the Conchords that I went opening day to the one theater in Albuquerque that was showing What We Do in the Shadows when we came out, and I absolutely loved it. And I love the TV series as well. I love them both. But you're right. That movie is absolutely incredible. And the one joke I remember all the time is we're werewolves, not swearwolves.
Swearwolves. Well, it's funny. My Wi-Fi network is called Swearwolves.
That's awesome. That is such a good joke, man. Where they're trying to.
Well, I hope now people won't come to steal my Wi-Fi. But
well, don't tell them your password.
Fine, I'll tell it to you.
Oh God! All right, let me see what I've missed here. Oh yeah, Osaka is boiling. I'm sure it got so bad out there when I was out there. Oh God, humidity is hell. Peter, I don't know what that is. The story about the Gospel of Judas. Does that help?
Oh yeah, the Way of Crossing Dragon. I'm sorry, that Martin story. Yeah, that was great. I remembered it from when I was young.
Oh, I think Peter was the line, and Taika Waititi's character goes to the vampire who's like Nosferatu, and he wakes him up, and he's like, Peter.
Oh yeah.
Wakey, wakey.
Nice, Cody. All right. Yeah, the original Let the Right One In was good. Ray Bradbury stuff, Mars is Heaven. I think that's the one where they land, and there's there's like a weird neighborhood there, and it turns out that it's all their like childhood homes.
Oh wow!
Series and film are both brilliant in their own way. God, I love all that humor.
It's so good. Oh
man, The Hunger is a great vampire film. I'm not going to get down and pull out my first edition copy of The Hunger, but I loved that movie. I really did. Does anybody remember the vampire film called Nausea? It came out in like 96 or 97. And the only reason I went and saw it, I went to this art house. I was living in Salt Lake City at the time, and I went into this art house to see it, is because they used music from Portishead in the trailer, and it's this strange, I don't know, it's this strange kind of like, it reminded me of like really independent black and white people sitting at tables smoking type of vampire story. But what about Dracula Dead and Loving It? Yeah, I have never laughed as hard as I did in the theater when he first hit that hammer, that stake into that woman, and all that blood comes out, and it goes on for like 5 minutes. Okay, vampires. Polanski's vampire film was the worst. Just saying. What was it?
I don't know, fam.
Picard.
There's so many vampire. What is your favorite vampire movie, Andrea? Is that What We Do in the Shadows?
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. She just ate. Life Force. Are you guys familiar with all these that they're talking about?
Man, I don't know Life Force.
All right.
See, all these cool movies. I don't know. I'm terrible on movies.
Me too.
I like find one TV show or a movie that I like, and then I'll watch it over and over and over and over again, and then I never want to see anything else for like a really long time. Like I've been watching Black Sails on repeat for the last like 4 years.
So you like other nautical stuff
Black
besides
Sails,
that's not horror? Just like regular nautical stuff. So do you like Master and Commander type stuff as well, or like Horatio Hornblower?
Yeah, I mean I prefer pirates.
Fair enough.
Ideally, but yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I always liked the Horatio Hornblower stuff.
Have you read those, the Forrester books? Because there's like 20 something of them,
There's
right?
a lot. I've read a little bit. And then my youngest and I got really into watching like the old like PBS movies that they were on. You know, she would sit there and watch the whole thing with me. So I'm like, okay, cool. So that's something we do.
Yeah. No, sorry. Well, I was just gonna say, like, I think part of the appeal to pirates is that they're kind of sailors gone rogue, right? And then anything can happen. Whereas I feel like regular sea people have their rules, and it's less fun. And then with pirates, it's like if you get the right director and the right studio, they can make them more realistic. Like I thought Black Sails was, even though it's a Treasure Island prequel, it was much more realistic because it was kind of done HBO style. Because, like there's the Disney, like pirates don't steal, like it's just like, what?
When you say Black Sails, you're talking about the
Michael Bay.
Say again?
I think Michael Bay was a producer.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different thing. I'm thinking of Our Flag Means Death.
So
no, didn't love that one that much. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it.
You should
That's
probably
about where I was with it too.
Oh, sorry. You should
Go ahead,
probably
Virgil.
read, if you're going to read China and Melville again, you should read the sequel to Perdido Street Station, The Scar. Because The Scar is about, it doesn't really require you to read the first book. And it's about this giant flotilla of like ships that are all like ships that these pirates capture, and they keep tying them together till it's like a city. And they float about in this giant city that's made of all these weird boats and all these weird like fantasy races, and I mean weird fantasy races. And it's got a very heavy weird fiction vibe. You would probably really like it. Super creative.
Wait, so I don't have to read the first one?
You do not. It has a character from the first book, but you really don't need any knowledge from the first book. I don't think you even need like the little bit of world building you get in Perdido Street Station. But Perdido Street Station is absolutely amazing, and you'd probably like that too.
So I'm seeing some comments like thoughts on Moby Dick, and I see Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier. Those are two of my all-time favorite books. I made a video recently called like my top 20 books, and those two are on it. I really enjoy nautical books, and Jamaica Inn is so highly atmospheric. It's like Pirates meets Wuthering Heights.
I have to read that because I loved Rebecca, and I loved her short story Don't Look Now.
Yeah, it's so much better. It's so much better.
I'll have to check it out. That sounds awesome. I like nautical stuff too. I've just read more of the I don't know, like Her Majesty's Navy type stories.
Okay. That's a choice.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like it. I mean, I like that stuff, so I think it's cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to do comments. I just don't know much about nautical stories.
I need to read Burroughs' City of the Red Knight. Yeah, that's something I need to read.
I've read Moby Dick, and it was okay.
I liked Moby Dick. But
my piss everybody off in the comments moment for the night will be me saying that I think that Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea is a much better version of Moby Dick and pared way down so you don't have to give up so much of your life to it. I liked Moby Dick, but it's funny because I absolutely love Melville. My cat's named after Bartleby the Scrivener. I do love Melville. I think he's an incredible writer. I just didn't love Moby Dick as much as most do. Hey, y'all are still on. Joe, are you already done with your shift, or is it break time again?
Are you still good on time, Andrea? Andrea?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
She'll let us know. Yeah.
Fair enough. Just didn't want that to go unchecked.
It's good. I get it. I do.
6 hours in.
It's good. Actually, since we're talking about pirates and vampires, there's a series that's either for young adults or children called The Vampirates. And I'm wondering if anyone in the comments has read it, because I want to know if it's worth getting or not.
So, where's Brian when we need him? That sounds like something he would know.
The Vampirates. That's an awesome title for one. So we've got that's already got me interested.
Has anyone read it?
I don't know. Let's see.
I read
Vampirates. Yes, I read it to my kids.
Is it good though? That's what I want to know.
You know what? Geeks Loves Dogs is like very widely read.
Oh yeah.
See, the thing with series is that every time I see a series, my brain goes, get the whole thing. And I did that with The Wheel of Time. And then I made it to book 6.
Oh, I'm surprised you made it that far.
Yeah. So
I
now
made it to buying them all. And then I sold them.
I couldn't make it that far, and I loved fantasy, and I was like a teenager who didn't know what good and bad was, and I was like, this is way too long, and it's wasting my time. That's the hot take. I know that, I don't think that I think Jordan can write. I just don't think that. I think those books are too long.
Yeah. No, it wasn't for me, but I wish I knew that before I committed to buying all of them.
So he says it's okay, it's fun, but young.
Okay.
So it's YA, yeah. I'm waiting for the dinosaur vampire crossover on the high seas.
Maybe that's the story, all right.
There it is.
So a vampire Loch Ness monster on the, or maybe you hunted Loch Ness monster. Who knows?
Oh, I love Tangerine Dream. Joe and I, he connected with me for literature, and then I had a side channel that I just haven't done anything with for a long time that was about music, and Joe and I are on the same page with music. Moby Recall, come on. I like this Dream Machine Moby Dick idea. I'm into this.
I did read was it Chuck Tingle's book Moby Butt. Which was interesting.
Okay, who did I miss here?
Fun. Since we're talking about it. I mean,
Patrick O'Brien's Aubrey Maturin series is fantastic stuff.
It's really good. I need to go back. There's a fantasy series that's very similar to that, where instead of get rid of the ships and they ride dragons instead.
So here's something you might like, Andrea.
Yeah, I'm writing that down.
Sea Cursed 30 Terrifying Tales of the Deep, edited by T. Liam McDonald, is fun.
Add to cart.
I think that makes sense to me, Krabby, listening to the stuff you do on your channel.
I've also heard Tim Powers' book on Stranger Tides.
Yeah, that was what they based the 4th Pirates of the Caribbean movie on. Not great.
Oh, not the book or the movie? I don't know. I didn't watch anything but the first movie.
What's that?
Oh, heck yeah, Moby Grape. They were considered the loudest band around. The Swans eventually took that from them. But yeah, Moby Grape, when they came out, were considered to be the loudest rock band around. Not many people talk about Moby Grape anymore. The whale is real because you dreamt it. Can you hear yourself, Mr. Ahab? Any kind of nautical horror is right up my street. I'm going to say again, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Captain of the Pole Star. It's incredible. This is a really good nautical horror story.
Yeah. I mean, I always mentioned that Moby Dick was not a classic in its time, was just retrieved in the mid-20th century by an academic. And the funny thing is, I've been reading more about this academic, and he was very depressed person, and I think he also killed himself.
Oh.
So, but this was his like big contribution, is bringing Moby Dick to the forefront.
So I always wondered, so Moby Dick, of course, Herman Melville wrote a lot of other stuff. Was that also lost, or?
I think others were read in his lifetime a bit more, and he had more success with his other stuff. But then this was it was brought from obscurity to pretty much making the top 10 charts ever since he brought it in that academic book, right?
Right.
Interesting.
Because I always wonder, what's the next classic that we're gonna find in some obscure corner?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's strange, like what Jake is doing and what we're all kind of doing. Like, I'm out there trying to find the weird books that nobody talks about anymore, right? In a weird way, that's kind of what all of us are doing, going through and hoping, because we could all read Dune and Stephen King and talk about those on our channel over and over again to death, but the repetition would be awful. I think that we want to discover that thing, like the Dream Master. That review made my channel because I found a weird book that people had stopped reading. That was, the book is the reason that it did so well, because it's such a wonderful book. And then I think Bookpilled has kind of brought Malzberg to everybody's attention. And the first time I heard of Voyage to Arcturus was Moid. It's really cool. Blood Meridian, Cloud Atlas.
I read Cloud Atlas.
I think that's a question.
Yeah, I'm not.
Did you like it?
I like it, but I found it very interesting that he does 6 separate novellas basically and puts them all together with one running thread. I read it after watching Lost, because someone told me that if you like Lost, you'll like Cloud Atlas, and I was like, oh
boy, Lost. I liked some of Lost.
Yeah.
Well, the first 3 seasons.
Yep, that's exactly it. I quit about there. Colin Wilson brought a voyage to Arcturus back from the dead in his nonfiction book, The Occult, in the early 60s. That is awesome. I did not know that. Yeah, I read. So this is about, what's his name? Cormac McCarthy. I read The Road because everybody, when I was going to college, like everybody that was hip was like Cormac McCarthy. Like that was it. That's all everybody talked about. Plus, he was from the Southwest, so everybody was seriously into him. The Road was like, for me, was like just asking somebody to kick me in the balls and just to see kind of what it felt like, and that's what The Road felt like to me. And it was beautiful, and I have never touched Cormac McCarthy after that because it's too much, man. It's too much. I don't need that kind of experience to know how much it hurts. Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird thing. Melville did a reimagining of Moby Dick, but set it on a bunch of trains.
That's Rail C? I've not read Rail C.
It's also interesting how close their names are to each other. Mielville and Melville.
He probably that was part of his inspiration because it probably got mispronounced a lot. I'm sure.
That's twice I've said bad stuff about one of Philip's books. I'm sorry, Philip. None of this is personal, I promise.
Yeah, I need to try McCarthy, but I just haven't gotten there yet.
Look at that cat.
That's Cthulhu.
Yeah.
The cult.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see. And they're both great novels. I mean, how can you Blood Meridian and Moby Dick? The only thing I can say bad about them is just that they're not made specifically for me. I mean, there's so many people that love those novels, and they're right. They're great novels.
Thank you, Tim. He appreciates that. You know how many times I have accidentally walked into a cult because I would follow like my interests, and then like I would show up to a place, and then I find out like it's an actual cult.
Oh my god!
Oops.
It happens more often than you think. Like there was this library program, and they were teaching runes, and I'm like, oh, I want to learn about runes and like ancient Norse or something, and it was like presented as a history class, and I went there, and everybody was like bowing down in prayer, and I was like, this is interesting. Like this has happened to me more than once.
Cody,
that's crazy.
Did you ever join one?
I don't know. I used to like walk out when I realize something's, you know,
a little odd.
A little odd, yeah. But like, I feel like I'm entering a cult with you guys right now because you guys have a cult.
Yeah, Virgil started a cult.
We're gonna get
Virgil
there.
started a cult, and I joined right up. Okay, now we're talking about whether or not Cloud Atlas sucks.
Ooh.
I've not read it.
Let's see.
I want to read the
other one up. Cloud Atlas.
No, other book, The Bone Clocks.
Yeah.
Right, I have that one on my shelf.
Sometimes the cult joins you.
Yeah.
You're in one now. Academia is a cult, yeah, kind of. But it pays some people, not everyone.
I was feeling kind of down in grad school. There was all kinds of infighting going on, and I went into the break room or the little lunch room or whatever they had in the English building there on campus, and somebody had written on the board. We said, "Do you know why fights in academia are so intense?" And then they answered their own question and said, "Because so little is at stake." And that made the rest of my academic career very, very enjoyable. That little bit of humility, because I think that sometimes, and I'm sure this is true of any work environment, but I happen to work in academia, and sometimes there are some egos that you have to deal with in academia.
I feel like there was this line by David Foster Wallace that was like, in the real world, you bond over how much of the common things you know in common. And then in academia, it's like a contest of who knows the most niche, obscure, fun fact that no one else has seen or heard before.
Yep. Agreed.
It's true, we do.
Blue Oyster Cult is the only cult I know. I've got all these weird... They're talking on Discord like crazy, and I can't stop these from coming up. So we're looking at these, and then Discord's going on.
Oh, you gotta... yeah, you have to like go and like manually disable it. That's what I had to do. I can't make it stop myself.
Boards of Canada. Everybody else? I don't know what that means.
It's greater than.
Boards of Canada is greater than everybody else. Oh, Boards of Canada is greater than Blue Oyster Cult. They're talking about a band. I don't know that band, Boards of Canada. I'll have to check them out.
They're talking about a band.
Seriously, Tim, everybody's talking in the damn Discord. It's a band. Yep. Okay, good. Amazing electronic band. Okay.
You might like, I don't know if you've ever read any Avram Davidson. He wrote a series of short stories set in a fictional South America, about this guy who's like a captain in the rivers of the Amazon, called the Lime Killer stories.
Lime
Killer, and just like lime the fruit, killer, all one word. There's like 6 stories or so. They're kind of like magical realism / ghost stories. Maybe worth your time. It's not exactly pirate stuff, but it is not. I mean, it is his thing. His job is to like move, like to do trading and stuff, basically on this in the rivers in South America. Maybe might be cool. I really enjoy Avram's writing. So if you haven't tried them, maybe
I'm getting so many recs. I'm gonna read all of these.
This is the main reason that I do this, is because I like to say read this to people.
Most people.
My family won't do it, so I have to find somebody else.
I feel like Chris, you got up so many times. This is how you get your steps in. Just
that's
like
right. You should see me when I lecture. I have a speech that I tell my students right at the beginning that I have a very active metabolism, because I don't want them to think that I'm like on speed the whole time, because as I lecture, I pace back and forth across the room.
That's awesome.
Don't have a Discord, so it's not me. Wait, there's a Discord. How do I join?
People seem to really like talking about music here. I don't really do that much bands and stuff and sea shanties.
You know what? I like sea shanties too. Do you have a favorite sea shanty band? Maybe I know them, maybe not.
Well, there's this like one, I don't know, I wouldn't call them a band, but it's Dread Pirate Records, and they have this amazing song called The Flying Dutchman. It's my favorite song of all time. It's like,
I might have heard that before. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. Okay.
They're on YouTube.
You got to come on to News from the Geldings radio show one of these times. Just request it, and then we'll all hear it.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Tim, I'm not. If I did back in the day, it was a level of Chris that the world could not handle.
It was a level of
I am naturally hyper.
Yeah.
L-Storm Pirate Metal.
I'm sure he said.
Oh, L-Storm Symphonic Pirate Metal. Oh my God, it's going crazy. Wanda. I use these shows to find my next read. Yeah, it's strange because YouTube for me was straight up an excuse to read all these damn books. Like it was just a way to hold myself slightly accountable because I was looking at my collection, because every time I went to yard sales and estate sales, I just bought all the horror, fantasy, and science fiction I could find until my library was out of control. And I was like, I should probably read these books, all of them.
Yeah.
So the YouTube holds me accountable. I've read so much because of this YouTube. Yeah, they're still talking about Boards of Canada. We're going to have to listen to Boards of Canada sometime.
I've never even heard of them.
I'm such a slow.
Are they from
listener.
Canada?
I have no idea.
I don't know. It could be. Don't know. I don't know anything about it.
2:33 in the morning.
Good job. Take care, Krabby.
Yeah, I'm gonna say here, since we're all just devolving into music, if you haven't subscribed to Andrea's channel, it's awesome. You saw the Weird Tales collection. There's so much more there. Go check it out. I do want to make one quick announcement that I have just started reading this. If anybody wants to jump in, it is the fourth book. It's not the last. It's the fourth book. Well, it is the last book of the New Sun. And I think Virgil's going to read it with me. I already read 60 pages this morning. So Virgil's like, damn it, I got to catch up. But Virgil's read it before. This is his second read through. This is my first read. So this has been a lot of fun. So I'll be finishing this up. So if you'd like to jump on that, please do. That's what I'm reading right now. All the other stuff you can just see on the update I did recently. I will not be dyeing my hair pink and my beard purple. So don't hold your breath for that. And is there any other questions for Andrea while we have her? Or have we just evolved into now we're talking about Klaus Schultz. I love Klaus Schultz. I think that's that's true. That's a rough pick for a read along. Wolf is at your own pace. Read for me. Agreed. When did we start, Virgil? I think like that was when my channel was in infancy when I first read that one. It's been 6 months since we read the last one.
Yeah, it's been a while. Jeez,
there we go.
Been that long? I guess it has. God.
Yeah. Andrea, favorite weird short story?
Oof! Don't make me pick. I can't.
Give us a couple.
I'm not gonna do it.
How about a couple? Just a couple you like off the top of your head.
The Red Swimmer by Robert Bloch.
Ooh.
I do like a lot of Lovecraft, like Charles Dexter Ward. I really like The Outsider, which is super underrated.
Oh, I love that story.
Like it's a state of mind. It's like you're in his head the whole time. And then I do really like the Hodgson stuff, like all of his like the Derelict and the Carnegie stories, but also the nautical. Like he does a lot of good nautical horror. Like it's all like, you know, A Voice in the Night. That's a good one. Awesome. Yeah, The Willows. It's a good one too.
I'm only halfway through it. I'm taking it real slow. Speaking of slow reads, like that one is like dark chocolate, man. I'm like, I'm slowly reading The Willows and letting that atmosphere sink in. And like I had to go back 3 times because I'm to the part where like something's climbing up the trees and then floating into the sky. And I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. I don't know what this is, but it is the greatest thing. I seriously went back and read it 3 times in a row, just that part to try and figure out, because I love people trying to describe things that shouldn't be happening. It's so wonderful to see how people use their prose to express this. And yeah, The Willows is just incredible, but I'm only halfway through it, but yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah. I got to find something in that Wellman story I read. He mentioned actually in the text a Algernon Blackwood story that I haven't read. I need to go find. It's sort of like an inspiration for that story, which I was like, oh.
Oh, Jim's here. We were talking about you. We were talking about Private Investigator July. That's Mystery and Mayhem.
Yeah, that's the first time I think I've seen you on the stream.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Mystery and Mayhem.
Yeah, everyone say hi to Jim. He's really cool. He started the Private Investigator reading challenge.
I love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cthulhu's multiplying in the background. Yeah, I have 2 tuxedo cats, but I also have the Mask of Cthulhu here, so he's multiplying in more ways than one. The Great God Pan, yeah. And the British Library has an amazing series of weird tales, and they kind of divide them by topic. So they'll have a collection about trains, one about tattoos, one about the Great God Pan, and then that's one of the short stories, and then they have a great collection of many others. Yeah, Arthur Machen. He's in a lot of those.
Great God Pan is way up on my TBR for weird tales.
Yeah. I need to read some Arthur Machen. I have not read any Machen. Seems strange the way I said it.
I haven't yet either.
Yeah. That's something I need to do.
Yeah, there's a great book that's a collection of short stories that H.P. Lovecraft would have liked or something like that. And then in that you have Arthur Machen and a lot of the older people than Lovecraft that he would have read.
Right.
And all of his favorite short stories that he's mentioned in his essay on weird fiction. So like that we know he liked them. It's a pretty good book.
Yeah, I really like Blackwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, the other one that's high up on my list is the Wendigo.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably the Wendigo is the other big one that people mention. He also had like a detective series that he did.
The John Silence.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed. I have not read it. It's been years, but I really remember liking them.
Now people are sharing their cats' names. A cat named Poe.
Seamus, Mingus, Georgie, and Cooper.
Those are good names.
Yeah. I have Bartleby, Cole, and Minnie. And both Cole and Minnie are cats that my daughters just brought home.
I have Cthulhu and Humbert.
And what's Humbert from?
Lolita.
Tell them why you named them both that.
Well, I really wanted them to be named after monsters. Different kinds of monsters. But in my defense, it's Cthulhu Christopher, like F-U-R, Christopher. And then it's Humbert Coconut. Those are their middle names.
It killed me when you told me that the first time.
Oh my God.
I think Virgil thinks I need to do stand-up.
For real.
I love it.
You've had a couple of moments that have made me laugh harder on this stream than I've laughed in a lot of them. And we've had some funny people.
Right.
I'm so excited for the spooky season. Me too.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I love it. Yeah, I meant Arthur Machen, also the White People.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that's a Machen story.
Yeah, it is.
Machen story make me think about the Wickerman, and I love the Wickerman, so that's great. Anyone read The Rim of the Morning by William Sloane?
I have that. I know it's a cosmic horror. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. I'll have to check it out. Herbert S. Gorman's The Place Called Dagon is a good read. Uh-oh. I'll play mine are Kaiju, Kirito, Katana, and Penelope.
4 cats. Goodness.
Wow. Yeah, 3 is my limit. I told my daughter, I was like, not another. Don't. We'll take them to the shelter because she'll go find them. What's the rarest book you've ever handled at work?
So technically, the oldest thing we have is a Mesopotamian cuneiform tablet. It's 4,000 years old.
Yes.
From 2040 BCE.
Wow.
But then I work with medieval manuscripts. I really like to digitize the fragments. I'm uploading them to this database in Switzerland called the Fragmentarium, where they collect fragments that have been separated. So I really like working with medieval manuscripts. And then books, as in printed books, we have a lot of incunables. So like books printed between 1450 and 1501 in the first 50 years of Gutenberg. So I have early printed works like from 1488, early printing press. So it depends which kind of book you mean.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I'm jealous. Let's trade jobs for a while.
Oh, I don't know.
You come teach my students, and I'll go play with your books. It'll be awesome.
You may have to sweeten this deal a little bit.
They do. And I made a video once about the book smell, because the old or rare book smell is actually the deteriorating of the book itself. And what you're smelling is the breaking down of the paper and the glues. And the glues have inside of them all of these chemicals that are very similar to a latte. So you have kind of like a vanilla scent. And that's what like breaks down over time. And that's why you love the scent of rare books.
Have you heard of the poison green books?
Oh, yeah. I had to put a few in plastic recently. We had a bunch in the collection at work.
Yeah, there was some
plastic.
There's some specific color on Victorian bindings that they used arsenic in. So if you handle these books and then put your hands in your mouth, you can poison yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had a bunch actually. So then I put them in my office for a while, and I was like, maybe I should put them somewhere else.
Right?
It's not like it's airborne. I felt like, we had to.
That's scary. I might have a few. I have no idea. All right, I think we've hit all of Philip's favorite novels in this stream. We've done it. We found Cooper in our chicken coop. That makes sense. She was 5 weeks old, and we have no idea how she got there.
I mean, that's the cat distribution system. Usually.
Exactly. You get one cat. You are down a cat.
That's good stuff.
Okay.
You just smell of coffee and the taste. It's interesting.
3 huskies. Huskies are cool. Yeah, I can't have a dog because they want too much of my attention, but I sure do like other people's dogs so much. That's so interesting, but also weird because I hate the smell of coffee. What'd you say, Virgil? I'm sorry.
I said I have enough kids. I don't need dogs. That's what I tell them when they say, "Oh, we want a pet." No. I'm like, I have children. I don't need. It's not a good deal. Their pets are much less expensive.
We didn't order a cat, but there she was.
Yeah.
I think that's how it goes. All right. I think that we're going to have to start wrapping up. I got to go get some food and give it to my kid. Apparently, we have to feed them.
Oh,
it's true.
So who knew the rules? But those are the rules. This has been wonderful. Andreea, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
my
so much.
pleasure.
Awesome.
So much fun.
Yeah, everybody go. You can link right in the description of this video is a link to Infinite Text. Go check it out. Ton of fun. The channel's great. And anything else you want to say? Anything you want to tell us is coming up, Virgil or Andreea?
No.
Anything for you? No.
Nothing.
I got a couple reviews coming up, but finish this book. This was good. It was good. It was real weird. It was good.
We'll hear more about it later, I assume.
You will. That was it. That was the review. That's it. Right there. Right at the end.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will see you next time. I don't know who's coming on next.
We have no idea yet.
On Monday, I'm going to be finally meeting live with Uncle Jimmy from News from the Gelding. It's going to be awesome. So make sure to jump in for that, and we'll figure out who's going to be on the next
hear about it.
Literally Liminal episode. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
I'm going to push the button, and we will all wait awkwardly while it ends here.